to completely fuck up one of my monitors. I fuck up two of them.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I got it sorted. Everything's fine.
And you're all ready this week. No messing.
I'm ready this week. I've been ready. I've been sitting around waiting for y'all to show up.
They're made out of popcorn, but they're like tortilla chips.
Okay.
Well, tortilla chips and popcorn don't seem like the most heart-healthy foods ever. Not that I'm
No,
trying to
popcorn's
judge.
healthy. What's the matter with you?
Popcorn's better for you than crisps.
Yeah, of course it is.
When I was
Well,
losing
it's better than
weight,
crisps.
popcorn was my go-to snack because it wasn't too bad.
Yeah. And they haven't got
Mostly air,
loads
but
of
it's
salt in,
precedent
so they're not
chips.
too bad.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Right,
the
we
Mayo
ready?
Clinic does say it's healthy, so all right.
Yeah, we're ready.
I was wrong. We are not on YouTube right now. I don't see. Oh wait, yeah, we are. Okay. Yes. Okay. So we are ready then.
That's it.
Let's start the motherfucking show, bitch.
There we go, people. Come on, it's gonna happen, and it's happening now. Yeah.
Welcome yo to the veteran gamers.
Come on, yeah. Happening now. That's right. It's happening now.
News, reviews, and indie picks.
Stu, you are
Stu
wrong.
story time and Chinny's game breakers. Here comes Duke with the soundbite saying. It's the veteran gamers.
Hey, what happened?
So, ain't you guys gonna ask me about my hat?
Switch that.
And now it's got hot new games like The Legend of Soltar.
Plus, it cures all diseases, dude!
Wario cheats!
Hello and welcome to episode 731 of the Veteran Gamers Podcast, Game of
Yeah,
the
731 Game of the Year.
Motherfucking Year. There it is, Game of the fucking Year. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they.
So, yeah.
Welcome
Thanks.
everybody to our Game of the Year show. We got 0 people listening. No, we have 5 watching now on YouTube.
We've got 5
That's
already.
great.
5.
We hope to get it up to 20, but I'm not holding my
I was
breath.
thinking about not streaming to Twitch anymore.
Yeah, well, there's hardly anyone. You get the odd person.
If you're on
in.
Twitch, we have a very special message for you.
Yourself.
Yeah,
That's
you
what we think
can.
of you, Twitch. Yeah.
The odd person drops in, but yeah.
I'm Duke, by the way.
Yeah, I'm Stu.
Then I'm tired.
Tired.
And we are not military veterans or veterans of the gaming lifestyle. Chinny
We
has a
are.
very small, cute baby.
She's not small these days. Tell you
And she's
what.
not cute
Wow.
either because she cries all
I
the time
think
and
she's
doesn't
cute.
sleep.
She's
Well,
cute.
I think
she has a
she's
cute
Every
cry.
time I see her on Instagram, she's cute.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah,
Three-
so
she's 3 months, by the way, now.
3 months old,
Yay.
unbelievable. By the way, we're all very excited, can I just say? By the way,
About the baby being
just-
3 months.
can I just, whoa. Can I just say, that fucking romper suit must fit her by now. And we still haven't even seen the bloody thing. I bloody went to all that trouble
whoa.
to get it.
All that trouble.
and we haven't
Yeah.
even seen
No,
it.
with
He
the
shows
veteran
everybody
gamers.
What
else
is it as
his
much trouble as
shit.
sending it across
Do you
the
know
ocean?
what? Do you know what? Everybody else sends him shit, and he shows everybody else's shit off. And mine, no one's even seen it. No one even. Yeah, I'll do this special thing.
Maybe you should
And
send better
no fuckers
things.
even seen it. He's not put her in it. We've not had a picture of her. You had a picture of all fucking thingies from Australia. All the Jacinta shit got a bloody displayed. Tell you, I don't know why I'm bothered. I'm gonna bother
Stu,
next
your
time.
ego is showing.
It's nothing to do with ego.
It's totally to do with ego.
Just
You
not gonna
sent it
bother.
because you love Chinny and Tara and the baby. The
Yeah,
end.
well, he shows everyone else's shit off.
The only reason you want to see it shown off is ego. That's why I wanted to see my shit shown
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, well, you got to see it.
Yes.
Lucky you.
Yes, so my ego was satiated. And you
Lucky
just don't have your
you.
ego satiated.
Honestly.
Chinny,
Anyway,
did you want to say something in response to this temper tantrum?
I'm just going to wait for him to finish.
yeah, I've finished.
You'll be here a long time.
Because he went in knowing nothing, didn't he? He went in, just went, you haven't, didn't know if it fit her. He just went off. No idea.
Well,
And
It doesn't
and?
fit her.
yeah, but bloody hell, half of Jacinta stuff didn't fit her.
just shove it. Just shove the baby in
Yeah.
the thing.
The
And
bloody romper suit, for God's sake.
We didn't take a
Doesn't
picture
matter
of
if it's a
the-
bit
the
long
bluey
on the
stuff.
legs or long on the hands. Who cares?
yeah, that's
No
true.
one
He
will-
just held it up, didn't he?
I didn't
No,
take
he's
a...
never. No one's ever seen it.
No, I didn't show any
No,
pictures
I'm
of the
talking about
bluey
Jacinta's
stuff.
thing.
Yes,
Yeah, he
well,
just
we
held
had
it
it
up when he
all
opened it.
shown on the show. You definitely.
Do you want me to go get it?
I've
No,
seen the
no,
blue
no,
stuff.
no.
No, it's fine. Whatever.
It doesn't...
Whatever.
Stu,
Whatever.
I saw
Whatever.
the baby vest thing that you bought today, and I tried it on her, like I put it up to her, and she's still too small for it.
I don't know.
Because do you remember what size you bought?
Yeah, it was 3 to 6 months.
And what is she now?
3 months, so it should be fitted.
Yeah,
What's the matter?
3 to 6. She's not fucking 4 or 5 or 6.
I don't
There,
know.
I got the
She's
perfect
3.
sound clip. It's from Yarn. You ready, my cousin
Once
Vinny?
again, the communication process is broken down.
There you go. Right, anyway,
There you
let's
go.
talk about some games of the year. Never mind.
Yeah, we're here to
Rosie.
talk about our
I
games of the year,
know.
but not just our games of the year. Games plural. We've each chosen 5,
Yeah.
and we've each chosen 5 fun categories in between our goatee selections. So, you know, that's going to be. Stay tuned for all sorts
Actually,
of
we got
discussions
6.
about
No, we got 5. We got
this-
6.
6.
Yeah, we got a special one because we got because I'm a cheapskate, I played some off Game Pass award.
Oh, right. Yeah, I have that ready.
Anyway, so I'm suggesting because we got 6 of those and 5 of the game of the year stuff, we start with a special category, I suppose, before we
I
reveal our
suppose so.
number 5.
Yeah, that's that.
Sure. Who's going to go first?
So are we just going to get straight into
Should we just
this
do the
then,
best
Al?
Game Pass game that we played?
Yeah, let's do that. We
Yeah,
can
let's do
can't
that.
So this is the best Game Pass game we played. Go. Who wants to go first?
we? I don't know. Duke, you go.
Well, it's funny because that's also my number 5 game of the year.
Wow, you
Well,
can't
you
have
know.
forgot
two
about this.
categories like
So
this.
okay, fine. I need to pick a Game Pass game that was not on my Game of the Year list. Then you're gonna have to
Yeah.
come back to me. Then it's gonna take me a second.
Okay, I'll pick one.
Go on.
All right, go ahead, Chinny.
So I picked one that I haven't picked on one of my silly categories, or it's not on my top 5. It's a game called Marquette.
Oh, of course.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
I remember playing it. You finished that, didn't you?
Yeah, I finished it.
I
Yeah,
remember you
like,
finished it.
like 2
Wow.
sittings. Yeah, Marquette.
Okay.
So I really enjoyed it. For people that don't know, it's one of those types of games that you have to see it really to sort of fully understand it. But you are playing in a world, and inside that world there's a miniature world
Yes.
of the same world that you're in, and you can pick small items out of that miniature world and bring them into your world, and they'll be small, or you can put them. Hold on, have I said this right? Or you can put big items in the small world, and then they'll appear in your world. It's kind of like a mirrored world, but small your version than the big version. So there's like, yeah, it's a bit mad, basically.
It was a cool puzzle game. I mean, I played this, and I don't know why I didn't finish it because it's my kind of game.
You don't
really.
finish games,
I'm
do you?
surprised Chinny would pick
well,
this
I
as the
finished a
best
few. I
Game
finished
Pass
a few.
game. I guess the best one that's not on your Game of the Year
Yeah,
list.
correct. Not the one.
Okay.
On, yeah,
Which
yeah.
was
doesn't leave a whole
decent.
lot,
It
I
was
guess.
a
'cause
decent
you weren't
game.
into this. Chinny was not into this.
I liked it.
It was okay.
No, he
I
liked
finished it.
it. No, he liked it.
You did?
He did it
Oh,
in
I'm
2
sorry, I guess-
sittings. He did it in 2
I mean, I
sittings.
played other ones
Fair
like
enough, fair enough. Okay.
I played like Unpacking and stuff like that, which are fine. But there are other ones that
Got confused.
I've yet to mention.
Okay.
But yeah, Marquette is my. I'm a cheapskate and I didn't want to buy games, so I bought this.
You probably wouldn't have played this if it hadn't been on Game Pass.
Correct. Yeah, maybe that should be the name of the category. I
Yeah,
probably
but
wouldn't have
that's
played
do you
it
know
if I had to pay for it.
Do you know what? That's
I mean,
a
it's
great
assumed
thing.
that we're cheapskates with the Game Pass game.
Yeah.
That's a great thing about Game Pass, though, isn't it? Because you might come across something you wouldn't have played otherwise, and I quite like that.
That's true.
So there you
Kinda
go.
like
That's
that.
mine, Stu.
Right. Well, I had 2 potentials for this. Right.
Well, we have to keep this snappy, Stu.
But-
and I know
I
you're in
know,
a bit of a.
listen,
I know you're in a bit of
listen.
a
I
bad
have
mood
drum
because
roll
you haven't
ready if you
seen
want it,
Rosa
by
in
the
the
way.
thing that you've bought. But
No, it's fine. It's
Right.
fine. I'm over it now.
He's
Right.
totally okay.
I'm
Chinny,
okay
don't
with it,
worry.
I'm okay
Why
with
do
it,
you
I'm
think
fine.
he's all bothered?
but we need to crack on.
But right, okay. The obvious one for me was obviously Dead Space remake, because
Obviously.
I was looking at buying that.
I could
for
do drum rolls if
donkeys.
you want, like to build
No.
up
We
the
need to.
Nah, it's
We need
fine,
to
it's
crack
fine,
on.
It's fine. It's fine.
a
But
4-second drum roll. Go
That's
on.
not what I went with. What I went with was Bramble the Mountain King.
Okay.
Oh,
because-
right, that.
Because I just thought it was great. I thought the art style was great. I thought the story was really cool. The
If you
voice
thought it was so
acting-
great, why isn't it in your goatee list?
Because I've got better games in there. I've got better
Oh,
games.
yeah, you
in
do.
there. Better games. in there.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
it was up there. I mean, it was close to being in my list. In fact, it only got bumped off tonight, so it was in my list
Wow.
tonight.
Down to
and
the
then
last minute.
and then it got bumped off for something else when I was going
Smoke
through
and
it again. I
smoke.
thought, oh, you know.
Yeah.
But Bramble the Mountain King, I thought was really, really good, and I finished it. You see, so Dead Space, I haven't finished yet. So you know my rules. about stuff.
I know
That
you will.
I have
you
to
like
try
to
and-
finish it, don't you?
I have to finish it for it to be a contender.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So there's like 17 games that should be on your lists that aren't.
Potential.
Yeah.
Well, I have got a
Yeah.
category for that.
Right, I see.
Ah.
But yeah, it was so close to being on the list, and like I say, it got bumped off tonight. But I thought it was brilliant. I love the art style. I love the graphics. It looked incredible, really. You know,
It does look incredible. I'll give you that. Yep.
And it was really dark. It just reminded me of Little Nightmares. It had that sort of vibe about it. It was this kind of fluffy-looking game, but fucking brutal in places.
Do you like
know?
to
and-
see little children get vivisected?
Yeah, exactly. This is the game for that. And I think
Yeah,
that's
it
what's
is.
so cool. It was this kind of really cool juxtaposition between this environment that looked like some fairy tale cool place and all these trolls were trying to mince you up and bash you and pull you into
Oh,
pieces.
is this one,
and
the one
stuff.
with the weird evil gnomes? Is this one?
Yes.
Yep,
that's
that's
it.
right.
So you play hide and seek with the gnomes, and then in
You
the next
didn't
scene,
expect that, Jenny. It was so
Yeah.
twisted and weird.
they're all getting eviscerated. You know,
I remember
you
that.
know that is this game.
Yeah.
That is this game.
Okay,
so-
that's Stu's
Play it.
game that he couldn't be
it.
bothered to play or buy or play.
I would
or
never
buy
have
off
bought
Game
this. I would have
Pass.
probably never have heard of it had
Yeah.
it had come onto Game Pass. So
That's
that's what
right.
makes it cool.
All right, Duke,
Yeah.
what's your game that you
Right.
couldn't?
So
you
I
would
put it
never
in the
would have
thing.
played?
All mine are in the show notes. Right, mine are in the show notes. So
Oh,
you can
thank
go
you
ahead
for
and-
that.
Oh, we
Ready
didn't,
to
you
go.
see, because I didn't, because I wanted.
I
to
know
be a
you didn't. I
surprise-
see that you didn't.
Surprise
Yeah.
for you.
Well, this is a surprise because there's no text. It's just video instead of like the name of the game.
Oh,
So
okay.
anyway, my number one game on Game Pass that I probably would not have played this year at least was Redfall, and I know that I'm a Bethesda game fanboy,
Really?
and I know that a lot of people hated this game, but I actually really enjoyed it for the few weeks that I played it.
You
I
played
haven't
it,
gone
yeah. You
back
played
to
it
it.
for
I
a
know I
while,
should.
didn't you? You played it for.
I did play it for a while. I got into it, and then other stuff just came back. Or my tastes are very fickle. People who know me know that I'll just go off on this tear where I'm just like, I gotta play an MMO, or I gotta play a racing game, I gotta play a shooter,
Yeah.
or whatever it is. Anyway, yeah. So Redfall, you're running around, you're shooting things. Sometimes
You know
they're
what's
humans, sometimes
amazing?
they're vampires.
I can't imagine
You have
any other
3 seconds to-
podcast where someone's talking about Redfall in their Game of the Year list.
No,
So
I don't
that's
think
that's
so.
incredible in itself.
Okay.
It
Well,
really
I
is.
think it's a very well made game. I think it was fun and had an interesting variety of weapons. And, I mean, look, for all the things that people talk smack about this game, like, I don't know that anybody had anything wrong with it necessarily. And the fact that it wasn't revolutionary and didn't change everything, like, I'm okay with that. So,
Yeah, no, I liked it.
Whatever.
I mean, I played up to the first boss battle, so I played
Yeah.
quite a bit of it as well. I played a decent amount.
Me and Marsh had a session on it, and we sort of got into it, and then we just never played it. We never talked about it ever.
I mean, that's the
again.
thing, right? It wasn't bad. It wasn't amazing. It
Yeah.
wasn't great. It was just, run around this area, shoot a lot of things, the
Yeah.
end.
I
Rinse,
think
repeat.
Stu's right. I don't think many people talk about this on their Game of the Year episode.
No, and I also
Oh,
think
that's a
what's kind of cool though, and I think this is why this game did so badly, is because it had such an amazing trailer.
And
You
it
know,
had I think it had potential. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
when it was
just had
shown at
potential.
E3, it looked amazing, and then
Yeah.
it just didn't live up to that hype, did it?
No.
And I also think that there were a lot of games that came out this year that kind of did new things, that scratched a lot of itches. And
Yeah.
this, for all of its goodness, was basically a bog standard, kind of like open world Left 4 Dead type of thing. So, okay.
Yeah.
Stu,
Not
I like
in
that,
the
though.
sense of like zombie horrors.
I
but
like that though, that you've
yeah,
got that
running
on your
around.
list, because I bet nobody
Yeah.
else has. I like it.
Showing love to Bethesda
Showing
stuff. You're
love.
welcome,
Stu,
Bethesda.
you getting called
Give me a
out in
free
the
game.
chat for having hair dye.
Uh-oh.
For having what
Oh,
up?
snap.
Someone called Dave says Stu loves his hair dye. What's the best advice?
I
Stu?
have not. I don't use hair dye.
This isn't me.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I do not use hair dye.
It's
mean,
okay,
no,
you
you
don't have to
you
be
can
ashamed,
see.
dude. A lot of people
I
dye
know
their
it's,
hair.
I know there's not a lot, right? But you
There
can
is
see a
grey.
little bit of grey in my beard. There's a little
Yeah.
bit of grey in my
Yeah,
beard.
which is
but-
why there ought to be some on your head. But
No,
there's
there
not.
is. All right, come here. Just a minute.
Suggests
Just a
that-
minute. There's a
You've got to have
tiny
some
bit-
grey.
There's a tiny bit in the side.
See what
here,
you've
near
done?
the- near the
Whoever
end of
said
the
this,
side,
now
but
you
I
got
don't know,
him
it's a little bit.
throwing his
Yeah.
hair at the
It's a
screen.
very small amount.
Hey, I'm just.
Not
I'm,
what people tuned
I'm
in for.
responding to the audience, Stu. You know
Look,
what I
I
mean?
know,
you can
I'm
see a
talking to
bit of
Dave
grey there when
Johnson.
I'm
Why you
showing
get
it.
us
There's
off
a
on
tiny bit of grey there on
Okay.
the side.
What we want to do, Dave, is to minimize the number of things Stu starts ranting about at the drop of
Also,
the hat.
in the chat.
Also, he dropped his hat so you can see his dyed hair.
Also,
Yeah,
in the
exactly,
chat.
yeah. It's a wig.
Are we done?
Yeah.
Also in the chat are Armar, Ian, James Bevan. Thanks very much for joining us. What do you put
Yeah,
your
what up,
bloody
people?
games of the years in the chat, and we'll read them out.
Yeah, tell us what your games are this year, people.
All
right, so
we've
that's our
done that.
favorite games from Game Pass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before we get to the first 5, what I was going to do in between our sort of announcements, I was going to read out some of the ones that we got in the thingy, the Discord.
Yeah, just read them in between. I like that.
Yes. So,
Okay.
the first one I can see is, I think you must have, yeah, I don't know where you put it. Pillow of Soft said his number 5 is Tears of the Kingdom. His number 4 is Football Manager. Oh dear. His number 3.
Oh, I like that game.
His number 3 is Diablo 4. His number 2 is Cocoon. His number 1 is Baldur's Gate 3, and this is what he had to say about Baldur's Gate 3. Best game last year, and since I'm playing it into January, probably the best game I'll play in 2024 as well. That's Pillow of Soft.
Yeah, thank you, Pillow.
The others are in the news for the show bit. Of
Okay.
the
Yeah.
podcast
All right.
bit. So just to let you know where they are.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I was looking for those. That's fine. Brilliant. Okay, so we're going to do our first of the top 5. Our number 5.
We are.
Is that
Yep.
what we're
Yeah,
going
we
to
are.
It is.
do?
So
Go on. I'll kick it off. So
Kick it off.
Okay, Chinny.
my number 5 is a Game Pass game as well.
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
It's Planet of Lana.
Oh my God! Guess
Oh,
what my number
snap.
5 is?
It's Planet
Ah,
of
great
Lana.
minds
Planet
think
of
alike.
Lana is also Planet of
Wow.
Lana. So I guess we can talk about this together because they were both Planet of Lana.
Yeah, no, I just thought it was. Really good. You know, like it wasn't anything that was on my radar. It's a Limbo / Inside clone. It knows what it is. It has a very, very, very cute companion in it.
Yeah.
It was short, but not in a bad way. It was sometimes easy, sometimes hard, and like the fluctuation of difficulty was like sort of random. It felt, and it was just a pleasant game to play. It wasn't anything that I'm not gonna. This is what I want to say about my top 5. Right, I was debating whether to put 5 games in it.
Yeah.
Meaning you didn't know if you could have 5?
Yeah, if I'm talking about the 5 best gaming experiences I've ever had this year, I'm like, I did a bad job of playing video games this year.
Okay, I got
Seeing as in the contrast of how good the year was, I personally didn't play that many good games. So I was thinking, I might be clever and I might have a list of 3 and be like, my number 5 is nothing. But I thought, well,
Right.
I'm being a bit harsh because I did like Planet of Lana and I thought it was very cool. You know, it did a lot with almost nothing really. It's a sort of a single press, or like there's 2 buttons that you press in the game.
Well, it's
nice-
a very streamlined gameplay process.
Really, yeah.
definitely.
And I enjoyed it. What about you, Stu?
Do you know what I like the best about this? Or one of the things I like the best was the sound design. I thought was really cool. I just remember it sounding really cool, like everything, and it sounded alien. You know what I mean? Because the landscape, although it is alien, doesn't look that alien. But the sort of the creatures when they came made this cool noise like War of the Worlds, and I did like the.
I actually have it right here. It sounded like this.
There you go.
That was War of the Worlds.
I like the puzzle design as well. I thought the puzzle design was quite clever for being quite simple at the same time. And it did make me scratch your head a couple of times. You know, I wasn't like, I don't know how I'll get. I never really got stuck that I can remember.
No.
But there was enough of a challenge to make you think, right, what do I do next? I think it was great. It was one that I'd seen coming, but not really paid much attention to. And then when it came out, it was probably lived up to expectation, which is great. You know, because quite often they don't, do they, these games that come out. So yeah, I like the story. I like the voice acting.
I love that little cat dog thing that you've got. I love that. I want one of those little things.
Yeah, it's the most useful thing as well, isn't it?
I love
You
it.
just tell it, and it does stuff.
It's so cool.
It
I
does
love
stuff.
It's
And
not.
it
It's not
does-
very often I get enwrapped in like cute stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't really fall for cute stuff like Pokemon and stuff like that. I don't give a shit. I hope they all die. But that little thing, I forgot his name. But yeah,
Is it Piku or
His name was
something?
Little Thing.
It was
No,
something like
his name was Little
Piku
Thing.
or something
I
like
think
that.
it begins
It's
with
a
an
little
M.
thing.
But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was cool about it is how they gave it character, because it was his like mannerisms as a cat. It was like a cat. You know, when it was about to do a big jump, it would steal itself first. You know what I mean? And sort
Yeah.
of do that little bit of a wriggle and then jump. And I think they just did a really good job of animating it. And,
It's
and sort of showing what it-
MUI. How
It's
would
the
you say
little
that?
things that really matter a lot in those moments.
MUI is the little thing's name.
MUI.
Mui.
Mua.
Mui. I
Mua.
think it is Mui.
Mooey.
Mui. Mui. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's what he shouts.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
I can
Very
hear
cute.
it now.
I want one of
Hear
those.
it now.
So that's my number 5, and your number 5.
And
Stu.
my number 5.
Look
So
at that.
Duke.
I don't think we're
Hey,
going to get the same 4,
synchronicity.
4
No,
3,
I
2,
do
1.
not. I do not think we are.
Go
Duke.
on then, Duke.
Yeah. So again,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like a lot of people are gonna be mad and maybe disagree, and that's okay. I don't mind that.
That's all right. It's your games.
Starfield.
Don't
Yeah.
even know what to
A
say.
lot of people didn't love it, and that's fine. And I didn't play this very much yet, but I don't hate it the way everyone seems to hate. I really don't get why people hate it, and I,
I didn't
understand that it's-
hate it. I just
I'm not
found it
asking you to
boring.
talk, Stu.
It's just boring. I didn't hate it though.
I go on, Duke.
Well,
I think
a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, look, if you find it boring, that's fine. This game's not going to be for everybody. But I mean, let's be honest. You didn't love Skyrim the way I love Skyrim. So I think that this Starfield setup is, again, like it doesn't make sense that I didn't play this. It doesn't make sense that I mean, it makes sense that I didn't play Baldur's Gate because I'm a cheapskate, right?
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for that to get cheap. Okay. This is as cheap as they come. It was free on Game Pass. So there's no reason for me not to play it. In fact, I was like excited when I started playing it. I put it as a separate icon on my taskbar. So every time I go to play video games, I'm like, ooh, I should play Starfield. I feel like playing Rocket League. I feel like doing this. I feel like doing that. So for whatever reason, I just didn't get into it the way I should have, but I think I will. And I think that it's a perfectly cromulent game. I think there's a lot of stuff it does well. I do agree with people who said that like Fallout 4, they're even more than Fallout 4. They're just overloading us with stuff and everything in the world you can pick up, and who needs that? Okay, granted. But on the other hand, like I thought the characters were okay, and the combat was pretty good. So I enjoyed this a good deal, and I'm looking forward to playing more of it at some point. Yeah, I mean, for me, sci-fi RPG, it doesn't always do it for me, except Fallout because of that. I don't know. I like my RPGs more traditional with the sword and shields and magic and stuff. So whatever. It's incongruous for me to be like petulant about this, I suppose. But nevertheless, I think it does a lot of things well, and I enjoyed the parts that I played, and I will play more of it. So hooray for Starfield.
How long did you play it for?
4 hours, maybe something like that.
Wow. I mean,
Which
well,
isn't much.
I'm not disagreeing with your choices, dude, because obviously it's your choices. But I think it's very telling that you played it for 4 hours and it only made number 5 on your list, I guess. So.
Well, sure. I mean, again, okay. So there's two things about that. Number one, I limited myself to games that came out this year, and so there's not a lot on that list. And two, look, I'm a creature of habit. Everybody knows this. I came to Minecraft very late. I even came to Rocket League kind of late. So, that's the way
let me
I
put
think
this to you. Let me put this to you, dude.
Or you could let Chinny say something.
No, I wasn't going to put this to you. I was just going to say
It's not good anyway.
No.
when Skyrim came out, you played that
Yes.
almost immediately on release.
I did.
You played
I
it for
did. It
hours
sucked me
and
deep
hours
in.
and
Yes.
hours.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
And this
Yes.
just didn't happen with this. So I
No,
know
it
that you're
didn't.
saying that it could be like Minecraft or whatever.
But to be fair, if we're gonna go there weren't as many games out when Skyrim came out. I was on the console, and Rocket League didn't exist.
I think
And
the Rocket League.
I don't think I had as much. I mean, look, to be honest, the other thing to consider is the last 6 months of my life have been really stressful. So as I've said before, when I'm feeling stressed at school and other parts of my life, I don't always want a new game because there's new mechanics to learn about, there's new story to follow, etc. I'd rather just play a game I've played before, and I don't have to think when I play Skyrim. So, that's part of it too. I'm not saying you're not wrong. And if Starfield were a better game, then yeah, I think you're right. It would just suck me in and suck me in and suck me in.
A lot of people's problems with this game came because of how many loading screens there were in the game, and it felt like you know, basically a lot of mini maps. But I feel like the reason why that hasn't bothered you yet is because you're 4 hours in. And I think that really
that's
started to
true.
grate people when they're like 10, 15, 20 hours in. So
Could
I-
be,
I-
but
what-
I've never really been too bothered by loading screens myself. So
no. I just had a flash forward of 6 months, and then you go, these
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
loading screens.
Oh my god.
well, that has happened
Yeah.
where I say one thing and 6
Yeah,
months later I
that's
say
definitely
something
happened.
totally different. So
Okay, so that's
I'll own it if I do.
so that's Duke's
That's our
number
number 5 games
So
of the year.
here's another top 5 from the Discord.
Okay.
Joystick J, who has said his number 5 is Metal Gear Solid 5. So he's going with whatever he played in 2023. So in fact, I'm looking at this. Only one of these games actually came out last year, so that's fine. That's absolutely
That's fine. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
That's fine. Go ahead. do
Metal
your
Gear
thing.
Solid 5 was his number 5. The Evil Within was his number 4. Number 3 was Sniper Elite 5. Number 2 was Hogwarts Legacy. That's the one that came out last year. And number
Great
1
shout.
was The Witcher 3, Stu.
Yeah.
he
Well, he
also-
only came to it this year. I saw a lot of the posts he was putting about it, and it was just like, oh my god, this game's so good. And thingy as well, John Mouse was the same.
His special, the Replay Award, so a game that I'm guessing that he's playing a lot, is Ghost Recon Wildlands for starting my 4th playthrough
baby.
of this Stellar
Wow.
game. You know what?
I
I agree.
think
I agree.
did 3 playthroughs of that.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
it's
played it.
so good.
I played through it once, but I had a bloody blast playing through that. I didn't like the next one, Ghost Recon
I know. Breakpoint.
Breakpoint. Didn't like that. Wildlands, loved it. Me and Marsh had
Yeah,
some great
Wildlands
times.
is amazing.
So, our next special category, Stu, do you want to kick this one off?
I will kick this off with, and I alluded to this earlier, which is
Ooh.
nearly game of the year. I didn't finish.
Okay.
So
I
nearly
like how
game of the
we've all got rules, haven't we? Like, I'll just list anything I want. Stu, you only list games that you finished,
Yeah.
and Duke will only list games that came out last year.
Yes.
Just madness.
That's right.
Just
True,
madness.
true.
This list. Go on then. So, game that
So the nearly game of the year I didn't finish was, of course, Elden Ring. It was Elden Ring.
Did you? You didn't start this last year, did you? In 2023.
I started it in January, believe it or not.
Oh,
I thought I
right.
started it last year, but I didn't. I started it when I had a look
because
at
it
my
came
list.
out in 2022.
It did, but I never started it because I didn't come across a cheat to make it easier until 2023.
Right.
So I modded it in 2023 and I started playing it in January. I played it for about 5 or 6 weeks, 7 weeks. I played it for quite a long time.
you had a stint on it, yeah. And
when I looked at my-
I said to you that you wouldn't finish it.
You
and
did,
you were
you
like,
did.
no, I'll finish it. I'll finish it.
Yeah.
And you did. You did.
80 hours, by the way, I put into it. So
Well,
far, right?
yeah, but like going in that Elden Ring isn't.
It's
you're-
massive.
It's massive. It's not going to take you like 2 sessions. It's going to take you.
80 hours. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I am going to come back to it at some point, but do you know what? I tried to do it the other week. I was like, oh, I'll boot up Elden Ring because I've not played that since about March this year. I'm going to boot it back up. I just couldn't remember what to do. You know, and you're like, oh my God, what am I doing? I tried to find
I've
this.
had that problem.
Yeah.
I think every role-playing game needs to have a thing where it's like, here's where you're at. Like, here's a
Yeah.
reminder of sort of what's going on in your game.
I tried to fight a dragon and died instantly, and I'm like, I'd have probably beaten this in March without
Yeah.
any problems, but now not so much.
You got to keep. I feel like most games are like that. Like you've got to keep the momentum, but
Yeah.
with a game like Elden Ring, like you've really got. It's very important.
Yeah.
I think it's all that muscle memory as well, and even though right, I know
Oh, yeah.
I know that I'm playing it on easy mode, but even on easy mode, there are challenges. You know what I mean? You've still got to have some skill about you. You know, it does make it easier for you, and it does sort of make allowances for your crapness. You know, at these types of games like me. But even so, you've still got to have some skill to beat some of these big, like these bossy type bloody monsters in that. Even the not bosses are terribly difficult. You know what I mean? This is not an easy game. But yeah, I mean, I just love the lore of it. I love the setting, the characters, the people you came across. And I just, you know, if there was ever a game made that just does not hold your hand, this is it. There's no map. Do you know what I mean? There's no pointers. You come across the side quest and it just gives you a vague place they might be to go to the next bit of it. You know what I mean? There's no.
That's
there's
quite.
no
There's
marker.
something about that that's quite liberating. I feel because if it's an icon on your map, then you're like, oh, I need to clear it. But because you can't see it,
Yeah.
you know, you're like, well, I don't know, I can't see it. I never found it, so whatever. So I don't think
They're
I
all
I
right.
am
There is a map.
I am such a quest journal junkie. I've just got to have quest journal items.
Can I just say
For me,
there
it's
is a
pathetic, but
map.
It's true.
There is a map, but it only shows stuff you've come across.
Right.
So it doesn't show like any quest markers or anything of that nature. There's none of that stuff on there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But places are on it, so you know where you are in the vicinity of wherever, so you can find your way around the map. But you can go online and find an interactive one that shows you where everything is. But in the game itself, all you get are the sort of bonfire things. I can't remember what they're called now, Essence of Light or something like that they're called. And that when you come across one, it just points in the general direction you need to go next, and that's kind of what you follow.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of like you saying it's quite liberating because you sort of like, but you do find yourself at some points like I was on a quest line, and she told me I had to meet this dude in Limgrave, which is the first area of the game, and it literally took me about an hour to find him. You know, because you're sort of trogging around trying to find this dude with, you know, he's in this massive area of the map. Could be anywhere.
Yeah.
But you know, if you wander around, eventually you find him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is kind of a cool game. But yeah, it's not for everyone though. That's the biggest takeaway. From
Nope. And especially not, I mean,
Elden Ring.
I might go back to it at some point, but for those who don't know, I had a student give me a gift certificate and I used it to get Elden Ring. And then I played it for like an hour and didn't install the easy mod. And I was like, fuck this shit. And Stu
Yeah.
was like, no, you should have installed the easy mod. So,
I would be interested to see whether it will be a different experience if you did that. I really
I
would.
mean, it'll be a different experience, but I think that, as I said at the time, there's so much else in the game that's just not my
Yeah.
cup of tea that, I mean, I'll try it. I do want to give it a shot, but it's not going to be anytime soon. And I'm not holding my breath. So we'll see.
Yeah.
It's not my jam.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, who's next? Ginny?
Yeah, I can go.
Jenny.
This is the award of what was I going to say? Yeah, game that everybody loved and I played and thought was okay.
Okay, so you didn't hate it. You just only thought it was okay.
I just thought it was okay, but everybody loves this game,
Okay.
and this
Alright.
did come out this year.
We love it. Do Stu and I both love it as well?
I think you liked it. I thought but you didn't like it enough to play it. I don't think. I can't remember if Stu played it actually. I know you all. I think you both played it
Okay.
because it was a play my game bitch.
All right. Okay.
But I think
Go on.
yeah, I don't know if Stu finished it. It's a Hi-Fi Rush.
Oh, I played it,
Oh,
but didn't finish
yeah.
it.
See,
I played
that's a-
quite a bit of it.
So this
I
game
played
has
quite a
popped
bit of
up on everybody's like, oh my god, what a shadow drop. What a shadow drop. Everybody keeps going, shadow drop, shadow drop. I'm like, all right, they just released it when no one, we get it. But it's fine. Look, well, I tell you what I liked about it. It was that the main character didn't irritate the fuck out of me. Look, I actually found him funny, but I found most of the gameplay pretty repetitive. Really, like it's very clever. It's clever. It's cool, but
I thought I remembered you really liking this.
He did really.
I
Yeah.
liked it,
You
but
played it. You finished it, right?
Yeah.
but like people are talking about it as if like it's up there, and I'm like,
oh, it's a lot on a lot of game of the year lists.
It's
isn't
not
it?
up
I know
there
that.
for me. You know, it's up there. It's good, but
Yeah.
it's not up there. It's like, you know, what could
I mean, if you mean our stream, you're right. It's not up there.
Yeah.
It's still Elden Ring.
Well, yeah, it's still Elden Ring. But like,
It's still Elden
Stu, what's your favourite packet of crisps?
Do you know what I used to really like? I
Go
used to
on.
like spicy knickknacks.
So spicy. What about your Walker's flavours? What is your top Walker's flavours? Right,
Probably salt and vinegar.
salt
I'm
and
a
vinegar.
guy.
Like to me, so mine's smoky bacon. Right, love smoky bacon. Right,
Talk about things you didn't expect to hear on a Game of the Year podcast.
right. I feel like you know, games like Baldur's Gate and what are some of the other ones that everybody bangs on about? I don't know.
Baldur's Gate 3.
Baldur's Gate 3 and Alan Wake 2 and all this sort of stuff that everybody bangs on about. Like they're your salt and vinegar crisps, they're your smoky bacon, your prawn cocktails, and like this is just like your Tesco brand ready salted. Do you know what I mean? It's fine. It's fine. It's all right. It fills a gap, but it's not elite, is it? It's not elite. So that's Hi-Fi Rush, game that I thought was okay, but everybody seems to bang on loads.
Yeah, fair enough. No, that's fair enough.
Fair
Okie
enough.
dokie, Duke. Over to you for your
Yeah, so
next
this is
special
my.
one.
It's sort of along that line. This is my biggest letdown game.
Okay.
And I actually have two. One from before this year that I played this year, and then one that came out this year. And they're each related to one of you.
Okay.
Yeah. One of them was the one I decided I would never play this type of game ever again.
Well, I've just seen what it is, I think, by accident. Sorry.
Yeah. Stu, you told me over and over again, you got to play it. You're going to love it. And I decided after I finished this, you know what? This is a really good game in this genre, but the genre ain't for me. So I am never playing graphic novels again. Thank you for trying, Eliza. I just couldn't get into Eliza.
That was my game of the year, I think, the year that came out.
Oh, you loved it. And
I loved
again,
it.
like, I couldn't say anything bad about it. I mean, I can, and I did, and I will. But it's just not my thing. It's just, there's so, I don't know.
Too much reading.
I think that it's not even that. I mean, that's part of it, but it's also, it just felt so flat. Like I wanted it to go into such interesting depth of territory, and it just really didn't. So it was those two things combined.
Yeah, fair enough.
The other one was the game. I don't think you were really wetting your pants about this, Chinny, but a lot of people were excited before it came out.
No,
And
I
I'm the
want to
only one
play
that
it.
played
I want to play it. Yeah,
Okay,
but I
okay.
know, so I know what it is.
You are
but
still excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. City Skylines 2.
Yeah.
And again, nothing wrong with it exactly. It's just, it feels so similar to City Skylines 1. And it's possible that I'm not the right target market. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the people who are really into City 1 or Cities 1, you know, they're ready to dive into this and get all the way through the city and see all the different things that open up, you know, and I don't know that I could expect reasonably anything other than what they gave us at the start of the game. Again, maybe 3 hours played this total, so maybe it's not fair for me to judge it or whatever. But
Yeah.
you know, it felt exactly like the first one when you're starting out. And given again, like maybe it's not fair for me to judge it this way, but that trailer didn't look anything like this. It looked like there was all kinds of new things happening in this game, and it just isn't.
They got you. They got you, didn't
I
they?
guess so.
Well, I've
I mean,
heard-
to be
I've
fair
heard-
though, again, Game Pass, like
I've heard this
Yeah.
come up on some people's Game of the Year podcasts and people that are really
like
into
for their
it.
Game of the Year.
Yeah, like it's in there,
Wow.
and
Okay.
some people have been saying like how detailed it is, like you can literally like follow everybody's life.
Yeah,
Um,
but
Yeah, but then
how
you
much
got the
time do they
Sims. You
actually
got the
spend
Sims for
doing
that, haven't you?
no, I
You
know,
got
but like,
Sims, you
but like,
got
it's good for
Vanished.
like seeing. Okay, what do they do on their day? How can I
Yeah,
change
are they
the
happy
city?
and all
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
But really, it's the overlays that make that difference with that. You're not going to spend a lot of time with individuals. So it's a nice little thing, but it's not to actually help your experience. And meanwhile, I felt like when I zoomed in on a neighborhood in the first City Skylines, it looked so interesting and I could see a lot of stuff happening. Now you zoom in, every neighborhood looks the same. So in my purview, my field of vision, it doesn't feel. I mean, it's detailed in some ways, but in other ways, it just felt blah.
Yeah, I need to
So,
play
I
more
was
of the first
disappointed by
one
that.
because I bought it and I've never really done much of
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Well.
Hey, how?
So that's City Skylines 2, despite what it says on the.
Oh,
screen.
yeah.
This is not Eliza. This is.
I have to show a lot of
Sorry, I'm
I think we
games.
can
tonight.
see. I think we
I
can
know,
see
I know, I know.
what it
You're
is.
juggling a lot of stuff.
There's a lot
and
of
you're-
games
you
that
know, you
are coming up that I don't know
move
what
back
they
and
are.
forth.
So
Okay,
Uh,
fair
he's
enough.
doing his best. You're doing your best.
He
aren't
is
you?
doing his best. That's true. We love you, Chinny.
thanks. Right.
All right, are we doing another?
doing
goatee,
another
or are we
one.
reading from-
Ooh, number
Okay.
4.
No. We're
Number
doing.
4.
This is Rice's.
Oh, right.
Okay,
Sorry.
Hear
I'm
from a
sorry.
fan.
I
Yeah, one of the
still
community.
will. I'll start with the special category, which is best, quickest, and easiest game to play while holding a sleeping baby. This is from Ricey55, and he put that
Nice.
to Vampire Survivors. Vampire Survivors.
Yeah, I like that.
His number 5 is Tears of the Kingdom. His number 4 is Slay the Spire. His number 3 is Disco Elysium. His number 2 is Deathloop, and his number 1 is Satisfactory.
There you go. Quite an interesting
wow,
eclectic mix.
Satisfactory,
there. I like
okay.
that.
Yeah, I'm with you on Satisfactory, baby. I mean, I reached a point where I plateaued and I hit oil, and I'm just like, okay, I'm kind of done for a little bit, but it is a great game, and every time I go back to it, I enjoy it more. So it's a good sign. Agreed there, friend.
Okay. Shall we start with number 4s?
Yeah, number 4s.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go on then. I'll go.
Go.
I'm not happy with this one.
Oh, in what way? What way are you not happy?
I'm not happy that this is so high. On,
Oh, flip.
because
Wow.
A, it shows how poor my year has been in video games, but also B, it's a winner of a different category. So it's got a special category, this one.
Okay.
And this game is another Play My Game Bitch, Arcade Paradise.
Oh, God, yeah, but come on, you played
Wow.
this shit out.
I played this.
game.
Played a lot of this.
I played this so much, I felt awful when I played it. I felt
You
like,
did.
oh, why am I playing it?
Play it. Why am I doing laundry?
Why am I doing this? You know, and like what I will say,
Yeah.
I'll say some positive things about it. It's something that like I've never really played before, so I suppose that's probably why it sparked my interest. It's something that that actually all the arcade games that you play, though pretty shallow, are also like quite engaging themselves, and there's some, I wouldn't say depth, but there's some like the fact that you spend a very brief moment packing meat because you like your dad basically thinks that this is going to be a failure and you're going to just fail and this is going to be terrible, but you end up in this meat packing factory and then you get a loan from someone or no, you invested in a company, gives you a bunch of money back so you can pay for like the arcade to be revamped and all sorts of stuff. So there's little bits in it, but basically the loop of just doing the laundry, playing the games, getting the goals, getting the extra money, it just got me. You know, when a game just like, and I'm like, I listen to so many podcasts playing this game, like ridiculous amount of podcasts, and it was because I learnt the gameplay loop very, very quickly, and it became second nature to me. It's not complicated to learn the game loop. And it was just very easy to play. It was just an easy game.
It's a game loop of get laundry, put it in
yeah,
the washer.
yeah,
get it
yeah.
from washer,
But it was
put in
just,
dryer.
it was just like the same sort of. It was just like mind numbing in a positive, like like colouring in or doing a dot to dot or a crossword or just like it's just I don't know. I just playing it just
Sometimes
for
the
the.
lack of a
challenge
is what you want. Yeah.
My challenge when I played this was like, how far over the closing time can I go and still do some washing?
Yeah, you can
You
go
know what I
quite
mean?
far and then
Before you
yeah,
get tired or
before you
whatever.
get tired, you faint. and then yeah.
But you know what? I should have had a special category for this game, which was game I played for way too long this year, because I played this for way longer than I should have done.
Terrible. Yeah.
It is, and I didn't even finish this game, but I played way more than I should have done.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what.
I got to the point where I was like, "What am I doing?
I'll make up. I'll make up a new. The category that I've got another special category that I can make up because I had about a few of them. But this one I was going to give my unhealthy addiction category to,
yeah.
but we've waiving that one now. It is unhealthy how much I played of this game.
Well, we got to choose one of those. It's Rocket League for me.
Yeah, it's just. But like, I suppose you enjoy Rocket League, and I don't. You
That's
know?
true.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, most of the time.
Most
But
of
the
the
toxic
time.
community really does my head in sometimes.
So-
You just couldn't stop playing this, though. did you?
No,
I
I'm mad.
remember.
I'm mad that it's made my top 5. Do you know what I mean? I'm annoyed.
That's
I'm just
brilliant.
so annoyed.
Is your special category a game I'm mad at for making my top 5?
Yeah, basically. So there you are.
Oh,
Okay,
God,
there you
that's
are.
so funny.
Good.
Right, shall I go or Duke? Who's going?
Whatever.
You
Go
go,
on,
Stu.
Go on, I'll go. My
Go
number
on, you
4 is another Game Pass game. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of Game Pass games this year on our list.
Yeah, go on.
Which is Cocoon.
Cocoon,
which,
yes.
A lot of people really like this.
was amazing.
Did you
I
finish
mean,
this?
Do you know my rule has been
That's
broken
a
because I didn't quite get there.
Oh, snap.
I got stuck right near the end. I was so close to the end of the game.
It's not a long
You
game,
changed,
is it?
man. You
No, I was very close to finishing it. I don't
No.
think I had much more to do, but I got
Yeah.
stuck on a puzzle and then I never went back to it for some
Yeah.
reason. But
Yeah.
I had to put it there because it was just so innovative and so cool and interesting. You know, compared to most of the games that came out this year, this was very, very unique, you know, in the way that it designed its puzzles of this worlds within worlds, carrying them around on your shoulders and then going through into another world with that world still on your shoulders and going into that world when you're in another world. It was crazy.
Mhm.
And I think what it did so well was it felt really complex, But when you actually played it and got your head around the mechanics, it wasn't as complicated as it first seemed. And I think that's what this game did really, really well. Made what's a little bit like Portal, I guess, and Portal 2, which feels like, the first time you walk into one of those areas in Portal 2 and you think, how the hell am I ever going to get to that exit? Because you look and it's miles away and there's so many what appear to be obstacles in the way. You wonder how the hell you're going to get there, but you kind of always do.
Mm-hmm.
And up until the very near end of this game, I was kind of doing that. I was feeling pretty clever about myself and thinking, oh, yeah, it makes you feel clever. And I think that's what the best puzzle games do. They make them accessible enough so that even people who aren't probably that great at puzzle games can complete them or do really well playing them.
Well, and there's a fluidity and an elegance, I think, to the puzzles, which, yeah, in this game, although I didn't get blown away by it the same way other people did, I do recognize the elegance of the puzzle design. So, and I might go back to it at some point. Maybe I didn't give it enough of a chance.
Yeah, such a clever game.
Well,
I really loved it.
what I've been up to yesterday is I started Cocoon.
Oh, such a good
snap.
Started it, yeah.
There you go.
I got so annoyed by my terrible
Lack of games.
lack of games that I've really tried to
Wow.
work. I'm trying to work
Guilt
hard.
is the motivator.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't let that happen another year. So I've
Yeah.
got like a whole.
All right, there's a question for the chat. What game do you feel guiltiest about not playing this year? For me, it's Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Opportunity
mine.
to-
I've got one of those. Mine's Just Ant.
Okay.
Because I know I'd love that game, so I'm going to start playing that in January. So that's
There
my
you go.
next. That's on my to-do list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See. Can you see this paper here? Can you see this
Yeah.
paper? Like, so
I see a lot of scribbled notes and
during
drawn lines. in
during
different
my
directions.
lunch at work, I was like, right, what are all the games last year that came out that I want to play? And I listed them all. And so basically, that list is my backlog, and I'm trying
There
to
you
go
go.
through it. But
Literal pile of shame on paper.
yeah, I don't know. That's. Will I ever play those games? Like, probably.
We'll
not.
see.
I
Stay
don't know.
tuned, people.
Well, this. I mean, to be fair,
Watch this space.
this I would say is the type of game you would enjoy, Chinny. I think some
Yeah.
of the games that were
No,
like-
I'm pretty far. Like, this footage where we are now, I'm further than
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I mean, the sort of the games of the year that people talked about. I don't think you would enjoy probably Sea of Stars. I don't think you'd enjoy.
No,
all that-
I won't
all
play
that
Sea
game.
of Stars now. But like, there's a lot though, like Star Wars Jedi Survivor,
Yeah, I bought that. I've got that game. I
like
never played it.
Dave the Diver,
Yeah.
Hogwarts Legacy. I've had for ages. Pikmin 4. Like loads of stuff. Just loads of stuff. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, that's next week's show. I'll talk more about Cocoon
Yeah.
next week.
So Cocoon is my
Cocoon.
number 4.
Okay.
Number 4, nice.
There you go. All right.
Nice.
Duke.
So my number 4 is a game that no one else has played. Not just the two of you haven't played it. Nobody's played it. It's World of Horror.
What? I don't even remember this. What
And-
is this?
I know, right? I also haven't played it very much. I played it for a couple of weeks, and it's episodic.
Oh,
it's a
I do
horror game.
remember. Is it that
It's
weird
based
black and
on-
white thing?
It is black and white. It's
I
based
do
on
vaguely
the
remember it.
comic books of Junji Ito,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is really cool Japanese science fiction horror writer. It's a labor of love. Like the person who made this, or the people who made this, are obvious huge fans of Ito, and it's done well insofar as it goes anywhere. But it's just it felt a little samey at a certain point. And the combat's so bizarre. Like you're fighting with the things you pick off the ground, and it's not like, hey, there's a knife on the ground, pick it up. It's just look around for a weapon is one of the buttons. And so like you're just like, look for a weapon. And it's like, yeah, you found a stick, or you didn't find anything, so you have to punch the monster or whatever. And it's a little bizarre because you're just some random person in a high school gym, and there's this 7,000-year-old monster eating your face with one of its 7 mouths, and yet
Nice.
you can beat it off with a stick. So okay, that makes sense. That's logical. At a lot of points, the game didn't feel like it made a lot of sense, even beyond it having a 7,000-year-old monster.
Sounds like you'd love
so,
this, Stu. It didn't make any
I
sense.
think
Yeah,
I think this would be
exactly.
right up my
I think
street.
you might like it. Yeah,
I think I
would
probably
love to
would.
see you play it. I think it would be interesting to see what you come up with.
It
here.
does look like the
Um,
type of thing I would play. Like, let's be honest.
It's
Your
it's-
category for this should have been games Stu would normally play, but I played it instead.
Yeah, yeah.
well, yeah. I mean, like I said, I would like to see you play it. I think it's a weird, messy game. I think it's a game that not many people would get into. I think it's bizarre that it has mostly positive reviews on Steam. But at the same time, I think it scratches a certain itch for a certain type of person who's into really weird body horror, and especially that which is from Japan. So hey, there you go.
Brilliant.
World of Horror.
World
Yeah,
of Horror.
I can't. That's about all I can really say about it.
So, is it another
All
top
right.
5 from somebody else, or are we doing our next special category?
Yeah, we could do another top 5. So Tim Kelly says that his special category is
Figurines that I've painted. That's his special category.
Yeah.
Planet of Lana. So he said, although Cocoon was pretty good as well, he liked Planet of Lana. So number 5, he's not sure about this one. Starfield, I think, he said.
Okay.
Starfield,
Now you're
I
talking
think.
my puzzle.
Number
Well,
It's
4.
matching
my
Duke.
language.
Matching Duke.
Number 4, another vote for this, Football Manager 24.
Right.
Number 3, Vampire
Ooh,
Survivors.
interesting.
Number 2, Marvel Snap. And number 1, Baldur's Gate 3.
Ooh.
Baldur's Gate 3. Thank you, Tim Kelly. Right, what are we on now?
Next special category, I think.
Category. Is it special
Think
category?
you're better than me, Tim, because you play games that came out this year? I don't think so.
You didn't play many.
Well, he played Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, he played Starfield and Baldur's Gate 3 and Football Manager. Yeah. Okay, he did.
Yeah.
3 of his 5 were. Okay, special category. Go on, Stu. You give us one.
I'm going to go with Almost Too Weird for Me award.
Wow. That's saying a lot.
I know, Almost Too Weird for Me award. And that game would be Birth. Do you remember Do you remember this?
I do not remember this.
You don't remember Birth? It was a
No.
point-and-click adventure game where you had to collect all your own body parts for your wife.
Oh, I do
build
remember
your wife.
this. Yeah, this was
Uh,
weird.
It was very weird, but
Very
kind of
weird.
enjoyable. The puzzles were pretty cool. It was pretty well done. It looked pretty impressive. It had a really nice art style to it. And I finished it. And again, it was another Game Pass game. And again, I'll be totally honest. If I hadn't have come across this on Game Pass, probably would never have played it.
Tell you what,
Um,
Game Pass is holding up the back of
enough.
this
It
podcast
is.
at the moment. Yeah.
It is. Yeah, and I played it about 3 or 4 sittings. It's not very long, but it's kind of cute, and I know that sounds weird for a game that's all about skulls and bones and stuff because you have to collect all the bones for the body. But it just does a really good job of having this kind of soft center, for this really weird game. It's a really weird puzzle game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought it was really well done, and I played this obviously exclusively on the Steam Deck, and it was perfect for that because it just feels like a mobile type of game, really, a mobile type point and click adventure game. And it just worked. It was just good, and it's just clever puzzle design, and it wasn't too difficult, and it
What
was
was your category for this one again, Stu?
almost too weird for me. It
Oh, okay, almost 2 words for you. Right.
was almost too weird for me. But yeah, really well done. So there you go. That's my next special category.
Duke.
Yes, I am ready to talk
Do you
about
want me to go?
another
Do you want me to
game.
go, or was you busy?
No, I'm ready.
He's
I'm ready.
grading. He's
Cool.
grading.
It's all good. No, I'm ready. Here we go. You ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this was the silliest concept of 2023. And
Wow.
we've talked about some silly concepts. So Stu just talked about this whole birth game where you collect body parts. I talked about a horror game where you're fighting 7,000-year-old monsters with 7 mouths.
Yep.
This
And
game
there's
is
something
Word
weirder than
Factory.
that.
Well, it's silly. I'm not necessarily going to say weird. I'm going to say silly.
Oh, okay.
But Word Factory is pretty fucking silly. This is a game where you are using conveyor belts and generators and transforming machines to take the letter I and change it into all sorts of other letters. So you have to squeeze it and it makes it into a C, and then you combine a C with an I and you get a letter D. You have to flip it in order to get the C to become a D, and then you combine it with the I. And it's just so weird. It's so silly, but it works. It is your Boggs, it's sort of Factorio meets Scrabble, although it's not. That's the thing, is ultimately this isn't really about words. The words are the output, but end of the day, it's just about manipulating shapes into other shapes. So it could have easily been numbers or emojis or something, but it was fun. I had a giggle, and it's not on my actual game of the year list because it's not amazing. And really, all I can say is it's a very silly concept.
Don't you wonder? I look at games like this and I think, how the hell does somebody come up with this? You know what I mean? Things like, you know what we could do for a game?
I actually think it's just like, okay, we like this process of factory type stuff. How can we make it different? What if we did letters? How would you make factories and letters? You got to use machines to transform letters into other letters. Okay, yeah, you start with the I, and oh yeah, we got it. Oh my god.
I mean, I'm looking at this on the screen now, and I can't see where this letter conversion's happening at all. I just see.
Well, the
loads of
bottom
letters.
left is where the I's are, and then you can use the red machine to flip it and combine it, and then you get two I's going in, and one of them is flipped. And as I said before, it reads your mind in some ways. So you could just take. It should have a machine that rotates at 45 degrees so that you actually end up with a slanted V. But what it does is you take two I's and it puts it together and makes it a V, which doesn't make sense because it really should just be I when you put two I's together or something. But, they don't want to have 100 different, machines on the right-hand side. They wanted it to be simple. I think this was designed to be at least playable on mobile platforms, if not native to the mobile platform. So, they're going to make it simplified in a lot of ways. So, but if you want to try it, it's not that expensive,
I don't. I'm looking at this
and give it a shot.
I don't think
you'd
I'll
like
ever
it.
try it. I don't think I'll ever try it.
I don't blame you.
No,
But
I
if
don't
you like
blame
a factory game, if you're into Factorio, and you need something a little different, give it a shot. It's
could be
cute.
it.
It's fun. Yeah, it does what it says. So that's the
Fine.
silliest game of 2023. Silliest concept.
Shinny, what's your next special category?
So, Stu, are you on the show notes?
I'm not. No, I've not looked at them at
Okay.
all.
Okay, Duke, are you on the show notes?
I am.
Can you scroll down to my name? I've highlighted my next category. Can you read that out, please?
Yes. Right. You want me to read this?
Yes, please.
Okay. This is game I really tried to like. Like, I really tried. I played it for like 10 hours. Like, honestly, I tried. I tried so hard, but I couldn't.
Yeah, that was Ghostwire Tokyo.
Oh, you played again. You played
Yes.
it way too
You
much. of
really
this.
did try.
I
did
tried.
It's a good way to
remember.
describe it. You so
remember.
I
tried.
tried. I was like, this concept is so cool, and this is kind of cool. It's
Yeah, you
bit-
wanted to like it.
bit strange for me, but like I really tried. I don't know if I've put that enough.
did.
Like I've tried.
You
but
really tried.
Ultimately, I was
Did
just
you
like,
really try, Chinny?
ultimately, I thought, fuck this game. I'm done.
Yeah, I remember you giving this such a good shot as well. I remember how much you played of this.
I tried.
You did try. You played so
I
much.
tried. Yeah. So
You don't have to beat
Ghost-
yourself up for it, man. You really did give it.
Yeah,
a
don't
shot.
beat yourself up, man. I played
Oh.
quite a bit of this as well, and I gave up too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, but you give up on every game. Don't you?
yeah, that
You-
is also true. That
Say
is
about
also
anything.
true.
Chinny does not often give up on
No,
games.
not really.
That's
No,
an
I
important
am
point
better
for
at
people
that
who
now.
need to
I am better at that. Before I could name the games that I never finished, but now,
Right, and it just
yeah.
makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
there's not too many games where it's a good
It's
idea
worthy
to
of
just
it,
keep
yeah.
bashing your head against the wall if you're not enjoying it.
yeah,
So.
yeah. Both Tara giving me shit for it, like, why are you playing it if you hate it, and also now having I got a bit better, and now having a baby, it's like absolutely not. There is no
Time's
way I can,
precious, man.
There's no
Play
way I
something
can
you
put
enjoy.
time. If I was like a single bachelor, then all right, fine, I'd probably do it more. But
I like the single bachelor as opposed to a married bachelor.
yeah,
I know
married
what you mean.
bachelor, yeah. I wish I could be a married bachelor, but that's tough. It's tough.
How would that even work?
I don't know. Don't
Just
know.
act like
I
a
don't know.
bachelor, but
It
you're
doesn't
married.
matter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
exactly.
yeah. Well, a married bachelor soon becomes a divorced bachelor, I think.
That's true. That's also
Um,
true.
Anyway,
Anyway.
so yeah, game that I tried to like was Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yeah, no, I kind of like
Yeah.
that. It's true. Kind of like that. We've got some email top fives. Do you want me to do one of those next?
Let's do one of those.
So an email one off at Brian Dennis. This is a little bit longer than just doing the top five because he has a little bit of stuff at the beginning. But it says, "Hello, chaps. Hope you're all
Hello.
well."
Hello, Brian.
Yeah. Get to your top five.
Get
We
to
don't have
your
time for this
fuck.
chit chat.
First
Come
of all, I'd like to apologise that I've got a bit behind with the shows, but I've caught up. So Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
For
I
20.
appreciate that, but I also want to say you don't owe anybody like listening right away. I mean, it's
Yeah,
for
you
you
don't.
to enjoy.
Listen whenever
If
you
you're
want.
enjoying it,
Listen
great.
whenever
If
you
not,
want.
that's
fine.
totally fine. You're not gonna hurt our feelings. Well, it does hurt our feelings. It makes us cry, but you
Yeah,
don't
it
have to
does.
worry about that.
You should see our
Uh,
WhatsApp chat. It's just us three just going,
Crying.
fuckers, how dare
These
they?"
motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Thanks for the shows and the entertainment. It's a bit of a ramble now. I listen mostly at work while driving around, and the show is a vibe I enjoy.
A vibe.
Yeah, we are.
General chit chat that makes me feel as though I'm in the room, so I appreciate that. I don't often get in touch, mainly because I never know what to say. But with
Yeah.
2024 and catching up in time for the top 5 games I played last year seemed appropriate.
Say whatever's in
Sure.
your heart. That's always the rule.
Yeah. I've been listening for a long time, since 2011, possibly 2010. I can't remember. Flipping out, that's a
Yeah.
long
That's
time.
a long
We
time.
appreciate that.
Appreciate
We
it.
appreciate
No,
that.
Brian has been
Yeah.
listening a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, I know it was in a time where I had downloaded on a laptop and transferred it then to an iPod.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Okay.
That's a long time ago. Anyway, here are my top 5 games of 2023. Number 5, Warhammer Total War 1 and 2.
Mm.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm playing the Grand Campaign, which combines the 2 games. A little slow on my potato laptop, but I enjoy it because Warhammer is my other hobby. Yep, I'm a nerd. Look, we're all nerds here. That's what we do. We're
Yeah,
all
really.
nerds.
You're writing into a video game podcast. I don't need
Yeah,
to
you're in
apologize
good
for that.
company. You're in good company. Number 4, Mountain Blade Bannerlord. This can be addictive and enjoyable. It's basically a more detailed version of Mount and Blade Warband.
Mm.
So there you go. Number 3, Metro 2033.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, I picked this up in a sale earlier in the year on Xbox. Had played it before, but it's been a while. Still good.
That's
Yeah, it's
that's
a great
that's
game.
such an old game that 2033 is probably closer to when that game came out.
Yeah, yeah. I would imagine, right, this would come under the does it hold up? No, it must be close.
Well,
It
yeah.
must be close to
Well, it
does
certainly
hold
is beloved by people who it never
Yeah.
fades. You know what I mean? This is evergreen, this one.
up. Number 2, Generation Zero. Been playing a lot of this
Yeah.
with my brother. Really
Oh.
enjoyable. Really enjoyable.
No, it's bad. Not a good game.
Well, he likes it. Leave him alone.
I know. I'm just playing.
And his number 1 game of the year, which I've never heard of, so I've no idea what this is.
Wow.
Stranded Alien Dawn.
Okay.
I have heard of this. Where have I heard of this?
Never heard of it, but
dang
it
it.
says this. I got a week or so before Christmas. It's on sale. Only read the description. Only read the description. Thought it sounded okay. It's bloody brilliant. It's the Sim.
Oh, this is on my wish list on Steam. It is
Yeah.
good then, huh? Okay.
It's
yeah,
the
it's
Sim,
a
but
survival
without the
game.
4 million DLCs. It has survival, crafting, and
Sims.
combat, and town building. It's totally my sort of game. And I had no idea it existed until about 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember
it's-
seeing this in early access.
It's on the
and then-
screen now, by the way, if you want to have a look. at
Yeah.
it.
So he says, special award, game that got me playing games like a teenager and almost forgetting adult responsibilities. Stranded Alien Dawn. It's the
Yeah.
same
Alien
game.
Dawn,
It's the
there you
same
go.
game.
Okay.
Thanks
cool.
to guys. Again, sorry for the ramble. Appreciate you reading this, Brian. No, you're more
Thanks,
than
Brian.
welcome.
Thanks, Brian. We love
Thanks,
you, buddy.
Bri.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
all
that's
good.
cool.
Whatever you want to tell us about. Anybody wants
Yeah.
to be in touch, man, just do it.
That's
You don't
cool.
have to have a lot to say. You don't
So,
have to format it any way you kind of fancy.
What we on now?
Are we on
three?
number
Number three.
number threes?
Number
Number threes,
three,
everybody.
We
jeez.
are. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
We're already at number
Are
three.
we just going to keep
people.
going? Stu, Chinny, me? Stu,
No,
Chinny,
I think it
me?
was me. I think wasn't it?
Yeah,
Me
it's
first.
Chinny.
Okay,
Yeah,
Chinny,
I got
Stu,
first.
me.
My number 3 again. Not happy with my top 5 because this is.
It's just not happy
Everybody's
with
I'm
it.
not happy
apologizing
with
for
it.
everything.
I
I'm
hate
sorry
my
I
top
chose
games
this.
of the year. I
Yeah,
fucking hate
yeah,
this
I
game
hate
of the
it.
year is great, but I hate it.
No, it's
Hate 'em.
because it's such a good year and I've just done such a bad job. Oh yeah, but you've had a
But it's
baby,
not
Chinny.
about feeling
Forget the
bad.
baby. It's all about the podcast.
To
Right.
be fair, can we just say the baby was only born 3 months ago, so you
Yeah.
had 9 months to play games.
I know, yeah, but there's something happened in that 9 months. My wife was pregnant.
Something's
and
happening.
I moved house too. Remember?
You did move house. It is true.
T-shirt. Right, my
Yeah.
third game on my top 5 of the game of the year is another Game Pass game, Roller Drome.
Yeah, no
I
shots.
would've thought this
No
would be-
shots.
I would have thought this would be higher up.
Yeah, I nearly thought this would be
Well,
higher.
yeah, Rallydrome,
Right.
great. It's just fun. Just there's a little bit of a story, but not enough. Well, sorry, not too much to
Not
make
too
it-
much.
Not too
Not
much.
enough.
No, not enough. The opposite of that. The opposite of what I just said.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. No, it's the story's fine. It's sort of like, oh, that's interesting, but then you move on, and really what it's about
Yeah.
is the gameplay. And I really enjoyed Ollie Ollie, what they've made before. I haven't played some of the other Ollie Ollie games, but I trust these guys in terms of what they can produce, and they certainly delivered with Rallydrome. Super fun. Sometimes you have just moments of like, oh my god, I just did that, which is a special feeling in video games. And when a video game pulls that off, that is basically what video games are supposed to do. They are supposed to make you feel like you're a badass, that you can pull off things that you just never could do in real life. And that's what I feel like Rallydrome does. So I absolutely love it. My number 3 pick of the year, Rallydrome.
I think it's well deserved. I mean, I enjoyed the bit I played of this, but I had too much other stuff to play at the time, so I didn't carry on. But yeah, no, I can see the enjoyment. And we talked about it being a Zen game, didn't we? You know,
Oh,
once
yeah.
you're in the zone.
I like we compared it to Geometry Wars, didn't we? And I'm
Yeah,
a
flow,
big,
Zen.
huge fan of Geometry Wars. So it's like you just, yeah. I mean, I am getting a bit like older these days, so like for me to nail these games gets tough. But yeah, I do enjoy them. Yeah, I do enjoy them.
Good stuff.
Rallydrome.
Is it me next or Duke? I can never remember which
Go
order
ahead,
we're going.
Stu.
My number 3 game of the year is wow, that was impressive. Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom
Oh.
Liberty is number 3.
I thought this would be higher.
I know you did. I know you did, but
Oh.
it's number. You know, I did my top 3. I did a lot of fucking like.
Oh, hang on. Sorry, I didn't finish. Yeah. Okay.
I did a lot of like. The order changed
Right.
quite a few
How
times.
often did you change your order? Because I did my order instantly. I was like, bam, there it is.
No, because well, I only finalized it tonight. It only got finalized.
Well, I wrote
tonight.
mine on like Thursday. So
Yeah, I only got finalized. So yeah, I did change it. I was like and ahhing between my top 3.
now, Stu. A lot of people have not put this on their game of the year
Well, fuck them.
because this is not a game release.
Do you know what? I couldn't give a shit.
Well, luckily
You could call it your DLC of the year.
we don't
Yeah.
really give a fuck on this show.
Yeah, I really don't give a fuck.
So
And the reason for that is because
no one cares.
no one cares. It's a 30-hour story.
It's a 30-hour story.
And it's all new and it's completely added all these new skill trees and for all intents and purposes, this is just another whole game.
Yeah.
I mean, but even more so than Blood and Wine on Witcher 3, which was great DLC as well, you know, great add-on. But this just felt like this is the closest I've played in a game, I guess, to playing a game that feels like a movie.
Yeah.
And it's just so well acted, you know, like Idris Elba was just brilliant in it. But all the other, I mean, everyone talks about Idris Elba, but everybody else, I mean, Keanu Reeves put a shit ton of new material into this. You know what I mean? It's not just Idris Elba, and like the main character voicing is brilliant. The scripting was amazing. The story was just so well done. And anybody who's played Cyberpunk, you know, and forgot about it because of all the controversy or thought that, you know, it was a bit shit and glitchy and horrible when they last played it, this is the reason to play this game again because it's just brilliant. It's one of the best story games I've played this year, and I know it's amazing. It's only number 3, but there's reasons for that. There are reasons why this is only number 3.
There's reasons, people.
There's reasons.
Just hang on, you'll see why.
Way more complicated than you can understand. Okay, listeners.
It is. But yeah, totally amazing. I can't speak highly enough about this game, and the fact that it's only number 3 is a reflection of how good the games that released this year were.
Oh yeah. Okay, so that's number 3. Duke, you're number 3.
Yeah, my number 3. You ready, people? Here we go.
Ready.
Here it comes. Sit down. All right.
I'm already
Strap
sitting
in.
Here we go. Again, Nobody else is going to call this their number 3 game of the year. And it's a little, I feel weird even calling it this myself.
It's fine.
But I've had a lot
it's
of
fine.
fun playing with this game. Combat Master
Jesus
is
Christ.
one of the only free to play Call of Duty clones available right now. There used to be so many of these, but everybody's gone Battle Royale, Battle Royale. Fuck Battle Royale. Where's my Team Deathmatch free COD clones? Nowhere. That's where. Except Combat Master. That's where it is. And Combat Master does it well. It is stupid. It is fast. It is you're gonna scream at the screen because the hitboxes are ludicrous and people will hop like bunny rabbits around the screen in order to kill you, and you're just gonna be like, "What the fuck?" But it's a lot of fun, and I can't tell you the number of times when I've played some Rocket League and had really frustrating games and had people call me names and fucking teammates rage quit and intentionally throw the game and stuff, tanking my rank, and then I'm like, "Fuck, God damn it!" And then I go into Combat Master and I'm just like, brr, 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 shoot people, die, who cares? It's funny, and suddenly my rage is just like.
What does tanking my rank mean?
It means that I was Diamond 2 last season, and now I'm
Oh, I
Plat
see.
2
Like
because
they're
I have
causing you
teammates
to
who
lower
just-
your rank, right? I see.
Yeah, and again, look, I'm always going to be the first to admit that I make mistakes, but a lot of times it's because my
Duke,
teammate is not
you're
keeping pressure on
That
the
doesn't
enemy.
sound very American of you to admit your own mistake.
It really is not. I'm
No.
a bad American in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Combat Master. It's
Combat
got,
Master.
a good variety of guns. It's very fast. It's so glitchy. And it scratches the itch. Like, there's no reason
so
for me to
glitchy.
buy any Call of Duty game right now. I mean, I don't mean glitchy in the fact of, like, it's bad and, like, you're glitching through
I was
walls.
just going to say,
mean,
I don't
like,
think
it's
I've
It's
twitchy. You mean
Twitchy.
Twitchy. I do mean, you're right. I'm sorry. I meant Twitchy.
I was going to say, I don't think anyone's described the positive of a game
My
as
number
being
3
so
game of the
glitchy.
year. It's so glitchy.
Glitchy.
No, that's Starfield.
Yeah, Starfield.
Anyway, yeah, it's like, it has this mechanic where, like, you're sliding, and so everybody's always sliding. Like, the whole game, everyone's just slide. And then other people just hop, 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 hop. It's so stupid, but it's a lot of fun, and it's free. So, like, you get your money's worth. I can't imagine anybody buying any of the cosmetic items in this game because they're so stupid looking. Like, there's one that makes you look like a cat, but not like an actual cat, just like an anime cat.
Yeah,
and
but
it's
people
just
love that
ridiculous.
crazy shit.
I
But I bet
guess
there's
so,
people
if your
running around
friends are gonna
looking like
play
that, aren't they? There's people looking like that in the
I guess
game.
so. It's so basic. There's no, because again, I only ever played Team Deathmatch. Like, the most recent Modern Warfare, like, I've only ever played Team Death. I haven't done anything of the missions, any of the single player. If they put out the Team Deathmatch or, multiplayer standalone for Call of Duty for $20, I would buy it every year. But they don't because they're stupid. So fuck them.
Well,
I'm
it'll be
going
on
Combat
Game. It'll be on Game Pass soon anyway, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, it definitely will be.
Okay.
Combat Master number 3, eh?
Combat
Look at
Master.
that.
And what a name. Combat Master.
Combat Master. It sounds like the game was made in like 5 minutes.
It probably was.
See what I mean?
there's
Like, we got
so
to
little
name.
to it.
We got to name this game. What game? The game that
Right.
Dave made yesterday. Oh, just make it. I know what's he got in it? Combat. I was like, all right.
It's
right,
combat.
right,
Okay,
combat.
we can't just call it combat.
Yeah, just
Combat,
master.
Great.
Master. Master. or
Master.
something,
Okay,
yeah,
master combat. Combat.
Right.
Let's check
Anyway, let's have a Mackies.
Right.
Right. So special category.
Yay.
No, we need to read out.
We
so
do.
Susan. SLH.
Yay, Susan.
She has posted her top 5 and her special. Her special is an oldie but a goodie. Feeding Frenzy 1 and 2. She said she's finding
Nice.
herself
What is
chomping.
feeding frenzy?
It's like you're a little fish and then you have to eat smaller fish to get bigger and then you can eat the bigger fish. It's an old game. But,
I see.
hey. And number 5 is The Gunk. The Gunk.
The
I'll say it
Gunk.
again.
I've never heard of any of these games.
The Gunk.
The Gunk.
Gunk.
It's fun to say.
It is fun to say. The Gunk.
Yeah.
The Gunk is a video game, she says. No, love the aesthetic.
Slow down.
I'm getting it on the screen so we can see what it is.
Okay.
The Gunk, she loved the aesthetic. It looks the graphics on this are amazing. I will put it on the screen. Fuck's sake.
I
Sorry.
wouldn't know. I can't see it.
I know, copy and
It
I have
does.
to
It
put
looks
the
amazing.
name.
Oh no, that's Chinny's.
I have to
I'm
put the
just
name
playing.
in the fucking thing so it doesn't happen
Kenny's
like
face
this.
is great. There's no doubt
Right.
about that.
The Gunk. So this is love the
The Gunk.
aesthetics, the eco theme, and the bouncing around a
Oh,
weird
okay.
planet.
It does
and
look pretty cool.
Sucking up
What
goo.
platform is that on?
It's on the.
Is this a Game Pass game?
It's on Steam.
It's on Steam apparently.
Interesting.
It's on Steam. It's on.
$25. Holy shit!
It's on
It's on Xbox.
It's Xbox
Yeah.
Cloud Gaming, so it probably is on Game.
Okay.
Oh, it's a Game Pass game.
Maybe.
Never even heard of
Yeah,
this.
maybe.
Maybe we should play
Maybe
this.
we
for
should do it
next
as a play
week.
my game. Yeah.
Next week's
Well
play my
done.
game, bitch.
Number 4 was Pillars of Eternity. Decent story and gameplay.
Okay.
Number 3 is a game that I loved. Is Man Eater, where you play as a shark.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
that's right,
Love
Shark
that
Game.
game. Number 2, Starfield. She says she's barely scratched the
Yeah.
surface yet, but I suspect that, like Skyrim, I'll be
Me
playing it
too.
on and off for the next decade. And then number 1, Power Wash Simulator.
Oh, snap.
Can't beat it.
There you
Can't
go.
beat it. It's brilliant.
Can't beat it.
Not a
Elite-
shock. Not a
Elite-
shock.
Elite game. Elite game. So, specials.
Oh, yeah, we're back on specials, aren't we?
Back on specials.
Okay.
Is it me?
It is, it's you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Duke, you're not going to like this one. Just going to warn you now.
That's okay. I'm a cooperative person.
Worst game I've played, and I forgot that I played it.
Brilliant. I like
Yes.
it.
Redfall.
You know, I'm not gonna die on that hill. It's okay. You're allowed to not like it.
Redfall. Forgot I played it.
Stupid, but
played. You know, I went through my list of games that I played this year, and I was like, "Fucking hell, Redfall! I forgot about it." You know, I had that reaction out loud. I was like, "What the fuck?" No, I forgot. I completely forgot about it. What the fuck? Yep, and yeah, I just forgot about it, and you know, I just think it had so much potential. But we've talked about Redfall anyway, so that's my special category. Game that I forgot that I played, and it's the worst game that I played. Blah, Redfall. Right, next one.
Okay. Yeah, sorry.
Sorry,
was
Stu,
miles-
I
was
don't
miles
like
away
to interrupt you. I don't know.
That's
you know.
all right. Okay. My next category is Duke hated it, but I loved it award.
Ooh, that could be
we
most.
already
well,
talked about Eliza.
It could be anything.
Any guesses? Any guesses?
could be
Duke
anything.
hated
It
it.
could be-
and I loved
Did
it.
it
could
come
be-
out this year?
It did come out this year.
It could be any game on your.
No.
played.
There's one specific game this
Is
year.
it that French
Duke-
game?
It is. It is.
Dulgone or whatever.
Oh.
Dordogne.
Dordogne. Hey, don't, no, this is, you can't just put that on me. Chinny hated this shit too. Chinny hated it more than I did.
No, you hated it. the
I
most.
hated it as well.
I hated it, but I think Chinny hated it more.
I think the category should be the game that both Chinny and Duke hated.
Duke hated
the
it.
game
I
that
loved
every
it.
smart person hated, but I loved.
I loved it. I loved it. Dordogne, you know, whatever you two say. I thought this was a
Maybe
really
listen
cool
to
game.
it. This is the name.
Listen, whatever you say, I love this game. I thought it was very
Dordogne.
clever, very cool, and had a great story. It had just a really cool story.
Another Game
Right.
Pass game.
Yeah, another Game Pass
Yeah.
game.
Bloody
It's
hell.
true. It's true. Again, probably never would have played it otherwise.
Yeah.
Never would have
Yeah,
played it
well,
otherwise.
thanks a lot,
but
Game Pass.
Is,
Yeah,
are we
thanks for
sponsored
giving
by Game Pass? Is that what
I
this
think
show
we
is?
are. Game Pass sponsors the veteran gamers.
By the way, if Microsoft
Um,
want to give us a bunch of money that's fine.
At
but-
least then we'd be having some money for it.
yeah,
instead
we'll
of just
take it.
wasting time with this bullshit.
So there you go. Dordogne. There's not a
Dordogne.
lot to say about it. It was great. If you
Nope.
just want a quaint little story, give it a go. It's not very long and it's really well written.
It's not very long. It's not very good.
Fuck what Duke says and Chinny says. Who cares what they
What-
think?
What's yours, Duke? What's your special category?
My special category here is game with the most glaring omission, and I don't care because y'all are like, oh, it makes it even, it makes it even. You can make it even in a lot of different ways. All right. I like everything else about the finals except the fact that you gotta play with iron sights. Fuck iron sights. And if you want to make it even, give everyone a red dot. So you know what? Take your arguments and shove them.
Makes it even.
I wanted to like it. I wanted to enjoy it. I had fun with some of the things that I was playing with it, but I can't be doing iron sights. And I recognize that it's irrational for me to have such anger about this, element of a game. But hey, that's the way I am. I'm a fiery person. I feel strongly about stuff. So yeah, the finals. Give us scopes.
Most
Fuck you.
glaring omission, the finals. That's
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
Okay.
Could have been a contender finals. But you blew it.
So, right, we got Mark Annex. Mark Annex has wrote in with his top 5 and a special. So, a special mention to Assassin's Creed Mirage for mixing up the new RPG elements with the old school Assassin's Creed game mechanics. Worked very well and a much better game length. Hope they keep this formula going. A lot of people have said like Assassin's Creed Mirage isn't awful. Do you know what I mean? It just isn't awful.
I think that's the worst
like
compliment
it.
for a game. Is
No,
it?
because-
dealing with faint
No,
praise right there,
because
yeah.
I feel like because the last Assassin's Creed, which was Valhalla, is also not awful.
It's
right?
not awful.
Right,
But people-
that's the best you can hope for with Assassin's
Yeah,
Creed. these
but
days.
it's
Not
it's a
awful.
tired formula, isn't it? So it's like,
Well,
okay,
yeah.
I'm so used to seeing this formula, but it's still enjoyable, right? So it's like,
But
hey,
it's not awful.
It's not awful. It's not awful. That's my who's who and my entry in who's who. It's like Mike Chin, not awful.
It's not awful.
Not
It's not awful.
Anyway, Mark
No,
Annex
you
is-
printed it wrong. I said god awful.
Yeah.
Mark Annex's top 5 in no particular order, except I am going to put them in order because that is a pussy way out. Mark is number 5,
Yeah, come on,
Hogwarts Legacy. Number 4, Spider-Man 2. Number 3, Starfield. And Diablo 4 is number 2. Sorry, hold on. I've fucked this up. 5, Harry
Yeah.
Potter. Harry Potter and the rest of the gender hating community. Number 4, the man with the spider stuff. Number 3,
Right.
Star
Yes.
and the Field of Stars. Number
Yeah.
2, Diablo 4, the devil worshipping game. Number 1,
That's right.
the beard and the muscles. It's God of War Ragnarok. Number 1. That was Mark's
Yeah.
games of his
Okay.
last year. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
Number
Right.
2.
It's the number 2s, everyone, and that doesn't mean the poo. It doesn't mean it's a poo game. It's just our number 2.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
Sure,
Yeah, I mean,
Ginny.
I believe you.
That's a thing.
My number 2 of 2023 is a game.
Are you hating this as well? Can I just check?
I mean, it's a good game. I just wish I'd played more, you know, because if I played more, it probably wouldn't be as high. Because my first game on my list is definitely up there, you know, but like this game is like, if I'd have played more, it might have been like 5. But my number 2 is Resident Evil 3, the remake.
Resident Evil 3.
I think Resident Evil 3 got a lot of shit for being short. Originally, it was supposed to be released with the original Resident Evil 2 remake. I think those people are fucking mad because Resident Evil 3 remake is beautiful. It's good looking. It's fun.
Oh, it is.
Short is a fucking plus for me these days. I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. I am getting a bit of a pussy weed as I get older, so scary games do fucking scare the shit out of me these days. When I was younger, in my 20s, it didn't seem to bother me. In my 30s, my late 30s, I don't know why, but I'm a lot more scared of these games. But yeah, Resident Evil 3 remake. My number 2 is great. And I just think it's underrated game.
Yeah, no, I actually kind of agree with you. I do think. I mean, I played this, and I agree. Sometimes you just don't want a
Don't
game
want
that's
it.
going to last
But-
20
but-
hours.
But the original Resident Evil 3 was short,
Yeah,
right?
I think the
So-
problem was Resident Evil 2 was pretty long, and it was pretty amazing. It was so well done and,
and
so
Resident Evil
impressive.
4 is really long as well.
Yeah, and
So-
I think people were comparing it to that game rather than just taking it for
I
what
just
it
think
was.
it's bizarre. And what's bizarre about it is if it originally got released with Resident Evil, if it was Resident Evil 2 and 3 remake released together, everybody would be singing this praises. It's
Yeah.
just because it got released
Yeah.
on its own. So it's not the game, it's just the context in which it was released. So I think it's underrated gem. Resident Evil 3 didn't take me long. It took me about I don't know, a week to get through it. It was nothing, but I just really enjoyed it. I just couldn't believe how good it was and how good they don't need to do this to Resident Evil 3. People didn't really like Resident Evil 3 that much, but it was still fantastic.
They
Loved
still
it.
did it anyway.
Yeah, they did it.
Still did it anyway.
So yeah, Resident Evil 3, my number 2.
There you go. Why not? Me next, is it?
Go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
My number 2 is Hogwarts Legacy. So that's number 2.
Ooh, Yeah.
There it is.
Hogwarts Legacy. Do you know what? Fuck all those people who were fucking moaning about the fact that J.K. Rowling was involved at some level because obviously she came up with the original characters' bloody ideas, whatever. But that doesn't reflect the actual game that the developers built in Warner Brothers and what they came up with. Because do you know what? This is also one of the best games that I played on the Steam Deck as well. I played this I played it all on Steam Deck. I never played any of this on my PC. And it just ran beautifully and it looked amazing and it ran in high settings and it was just a really cool, massive open world game and just everything about it was just so well done.
Yeah.
Like the story wasn't the most amazing in the world, I don't suppose, but everything else about it, the mechanics, all the different spells, all the stuff you had to do, it was just such a rich world. And for anyone who's a massive Harry Potter fan like myself, I just thought it was brilliant. Do you know what I mean? It was just, you could inhabit that world, you could ride on a broom, and just like, even just the broom riding was just brilliant. You know, like flying across the landscape and just looking at everything flying below you. It was just amazing. And that's the only way I got around. And you could fast travel in the game, and I hardly ever did.
Right. Did
I
you,
hardly
you
ever
finish this
did.
one then?
Yeah, I finished it. Yeah.
Okay.
I played. You've forgotten how much games I played this year. I mean, I didn't finish a lot, but I played a lot of hours of a lot of big games. I mean, because this was huge.
Yeah.
I think this took me about 40 hours, 30 or 40 hours to finish. So it wasn't a small fry game. Like Phantom Liberty was 34 hours. Do you know what I mean? These are big ass games that I finished.
Yeah.
And it was just brilliant. So there you go. I can't say enough about how good this game was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Chinny, I think you would really love this. if
Yeah,
you
no,
gave
it's
it a
on
go.
it's on my list. You know, this big list of
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
It's
I
on
do
there.
think you'd
It's on
love
there,
it.
it's on there. Right.
You're not a massive Harry Potter fan, and that would probably be the only issue for you.
I don't know. Duke, you're up.
Yes, I am, and I'm ready with a game that I didn't talk so much about it, but it came in at the end of the year, and it kind of blew me away. It is a game that a lot of people love, but it's a new iteration of something that a lot of people love. The core game has become a platform. I'm talking, of course, about Fortnite.
Yeah.
The Lego Fortnite specifically. Whoever it was that said I should check it out, you were right. I have been checking it out. I have been enjoying it. Fortnite is a battle royale game. Lego Fortnite is a survival game with all sorts of cool elements in it. It's a lot of exploring. It's very well made, and I am holding up Lego Fortnite as my number 2 game of the year alongside Rocket Racing because, again, I did not expect to like that at all. I explored it as a curiosity, but I really enjoyed it, and I haven't gone back since, but I will because I could tell at a glance that it's very well made, and both of these games speak well to the Fortnite team as like developers, like spinning off stuff. And especially insofar as they're all free, like, hey, you're speaking my language when you got free games.
It's only going to be more, isn't it? I think you're going to see more games on the Fortnite.
Now let's see an actual MMO. I am fucking in.
Yeah.
Because I think they could do it.
Funny.
Well, they've gained trust,
Yeah,
haven't they? They said, look, we've released.
Yeah.
Was it 3 games or was it 2 games? I can't remember. The racing, the
All
Lego.
I know
and
is
the
that people said we want old school Fortnite back with no building, and they were like, all right, cool. And they did.
So yeah, it's
People love it.
They've gained people's trust of like, yeah, we can make this stuff, and
Yeah.
so whatever they release next, people will be interested. And they've got like a
sure. I mean,
bajillion.
I'll at least give it a try.
They've got a $1 budget, haven't they? So they're just like throwing.
Yeah, exactly.
anything
And they're
at it.
using it for the right thing. See,
Yeah.
a lot of game developers will just keep doing the same thing or variations on a theme or like the whole season shit.
Well, you got
But
to just.
Fortnite has said, let's diversify.
Yeah,
Let's
you gotta
keep
try
coming
stuff,
out with
yeah.
different
Do you know what?
things.
Do you know what? People say a lot of stuff about Epic Games and stuff, right? And how much money they've now got from on the back of Fortnite. But
Yeah.
I think that it's allowed them to be innovative and individual and come up with new stuff, just to allow them to
Yeah.
have that innovation
But it
and
also
not be
takes
all about the
it
bottom
takes
line
the-
all the time.
Right. Well, I mean, it's still in service of the bottom line,
Yeah,
but
of
it's a
course it
way
is.
of developing the bottom line that, again, is not just doing the same thing over and over again. Because that's what Call of Duty got wrong. They just said, we're just going to keep driving the same thing into the ground. And yeah, okay, Warzone gave them a reprieve. That's why Call of Duty's still around, I think, is because of Warzone. But I don't think they're diversifying in the way that Fortnite is. So kudos to
Yeah.
you, Fortnite.
Yeah, no, they're allowing them to
Yeah.
experiment, aren't they, and see what they can come up with. And I like that.
Yeah, sure.
They are
And,
becoming.
giving the teams the resources they need to do it right.
Yeah.
Like you could have easily done Rocket Racing wrong, but they did it right, which is good to see.
They're becoming, and I hate to say this, but they're becoming more and more like Valve every day. You know what I mean? They are getting into that.
I don't know if I want to go
sort of-
that far yet. I mean, this isn't on the level of like Portal 2 or nothing. Like the stories in these games.
No,
are
but I mean,
shit.
in that sort of giving people free reign to do what they want, you know, and maybe sort of saying, look, what ideas have you got? Let's give it a go.
In that
and I
very
think-
narrow sense, yes. Okay.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
So we got another one from Real Kahuna
Yep.
or
Oh,
Neil
yeah.
from the
Let me guess,
Seal
Destiny 2.
from the Seal podcast. No, it's not Destiny 2, but it did shock me. I already know his top 5 because I listened to the Seal podcast, so I already heard it. But anyway, yes, this is Neil's special category. Best game you probably never heard of. This is called Chants of Sonar. It's a beautiful, unique puzzle game. Duke, I think you'll like this one because Chants of Sonar is a game where you learn languages.
Oh, okay.
So, for
cool.
example, like, you know, the symbol for death would be like a symbol, and then there's a word, and it's like that symbol, but it's in a box, and you're like, oh, what's that? So they're in a box. So coffin, or maybe a grave, and it was a gravestone. So it was death in a box, meant gravestone. So there's like a logic to the language, and it's all about learning language.
Yeah.
I think there's 5 languages in the game, and you've got to like go through the game and. This person who you can't understand by the start of the game, you go back and you're like, oh, I can understand him now, you know? So that's Chants of Sonar. His number 5 was... I think he's just done special categories here. So best Game Pass game was Lies of P. The most from software game.
Is
not
that on Game Pass?
It is.
Yeah.
But it's no. That's why I didn't play it. I looked at it and then they're like Souls-like. I'm like, fuck that shit.
So it's the most.
Yeah, it is.
It's the most From Software game not made by From Software, and his favorite game of the year was Alan Wake 2. By far the weirdest and most fun experience I've had in a long time. Alan Wake 2. That's Neil.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Neil.
There you go.
Thanks, Neil. What we on now? Last special category.
Last special category, yes.
Okay, mine
Right.
is game that I wish I played but I didn't play.
Okay.
2023.
Wait, how can it be last special category? I thought we were supposed to have 6.
Oh yeah, that's true.
No, but we
It's
did the
second to
Game
last
Pass.
special
We did the
category.
Game Pass one, right?
Yeah,
I
but
know,
we
but
did
if we had 5
plus
in the
Game
middle, it's
Pass.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a round beginning and end. We have 2 more special categories. I have 2 more special categories.
Yeah,
Y'all
I
wanna just
do.
do one more.
I
Fine.
do, too.
got
Oh no,
two
I
more.
do. I do have another one. Sorry.
All right then.
Yeah, I do.
Duke was right.
Yeah. Well
Yeah.
done. Congratulations. My game that I wish I'd played but I didn't play because I'm a stupid shit is Pikmin 4.
Oh snap!
Love Pikmin. Huge soft spot for Pikmin. I bought the first Pikmin game on the GameCube because there wasn't a lot of games on the GameCube, and I was like, what
Oh, there
can
we
I
go.
play?
Sorry, I was trying to find this earlier. Sorry.
I have got to agree with Duke. I'm having a look now, and he is correct.
There you go.
There you
There you go.
So
He is
the problem
definitely
with
correct.
that
was
sound
worth it.
clip, the problem with that sound clip, Duke, is that you don't know it's playing because it just sounds like the show.
Right.
It does,
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
So those
I
sound
like that.
clips, I should ban those ones because you don't know they're playing. Right. Anyway,
That was a sound effect that like totally threw me.
again, another one in
Oh my
line for
God.
banning. Right. Okay.
Lifetime ban. There it is.
Lifetime ban.
So when I had a GameCube and I was like, I don't know what to play for this thing, so I just bought random games. Like bought Pikmin, and I sort of like, I don't know, just buying random stuff. Don't know what possessed me to buy it. Played it, loved it, and I've been in love with Pikmin ever since. And you know, the last like 10 years, we've had a good wave of Pikmin. We had the remasters. We've got Pikmin 3 and then Pikmin 4. So like really pleased with like all the Pikmin that we're getting. But I don't play them. You know, the Pikmin 1 and 2 remaster. I need
There's
to
too
get
many
to.
Pikmin is the problem.
There's too
Fucking
many
Pikmin, slow down.
Throw them out burn them or drown them. That's what I used to do for a laugh. I used to drown them, except for the blue ones. You can't drown the blue ones. Anyway, Pikmin 4, wish I played it. Never did.
There you go. Well,
Okay.
weirdly, my next special category is actually
There's
called.
also Pikmin. Oh.
No, it's called Possible Game of the Year I Didn't Play.
Oh, okay.
So it's
Well, shit,
almost
I got
the
like
same.
100 of those.
Same category, which is Jusan, which I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
I played the demo for this. Absolutely loved the demo. could see that it was me all over.
This is the climbing game, isn't it?
It is the climbing game. Yeah,
I'm
it's the
shocked. I'm
climbing game.
shocked. You know what? Every time I hear people talking about this game, I am really shocked that you didn't play this game.
I know. And I'll tell you why. I just didn't have time. I just did not have time with all the
You
other
make
stuff I was
time for what's
playing.
important to you, damn it.
I had no time to play it, and I am absolutely
Hear your
gutted that I
excuses.
didn't. But this is beginning next week. This is the first game I'm going to play in the new year, so this is on
Yeah,
my.
we'll see. You
I'll
keep
be
saying
playing this this
Is,
time.
is this on?
next week?
Is this on Xbox?
It's on Game Pass. Yeah,
It's on Game Pass. Okay.
yeah. There's no reason that. Yeah, well, there was a reason I didn't play, it, and that was because I was playing other stuff. But
Other stuff.
got to play it because I've heard amazing things about this game. It
Yeah.
would definitely have probably been on my top 5 list, I would
Oh yeah,
imagine, and
definitely.
I just didn't play it.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't know what to say. So, Duke, what's your penultimate special category?
Right. My penultimate special category is the best demo I played this year, which I don't think it came out this year. I want to say it came out last year, but it was a good demo for a game that did come out this year, and it is Above Snakes.
Right.
Yeah. I remember this.
This is a crafting game, but also kind of an RPG adventure game. The twist is that you are adding panels to the map, and you have to like kind of match them up. So if the edge of your panel is lake, then you have to put a lake unit on next, and then it might have forest on one side or whatever, and you can add a forest on there later or whatever. Yeah, it's a weird kind of game, but at the core, it's just like you're building shit and helping people after this bizarre series of events happen. And I'm pretty sure it was made in China, but it's about like indigenous Americans. So it's a weird cultural combination of games. But, you know, it's well made. There's a lot of different elements to it. And you're basically, you know, yeah, again, like making houses and stuff. The demo really, it was one of those demos that I kind of didn't see the end coming. And then I hit a wall and it was like, boom, thank you for playing the demo. I was like, no, I was just getting going. Let's keep going. But did I buy it the day it came out? No, I did not. So, yeah, I will buy it. It's on my wish list. Next time it gets real cheap, I will play Above Snakes. But in the meantime, it's a fun, cute little crafting game, kind of Valheim-ish, kind of Carto. If anybody played Carto, the little kids game, yeah, it's worth your time. If you have, if you got Steam, check out the demo. It's well worth a giggle.
Above Snakes.
Above Snakes.
What was your category for this one?
Best demo I played this
Best
year.
demo. Okay.
Best
Grape. Well,
Yes.
do we want to do?
So we're doing final special category.
Yeah, I
and
was going to
then-
say. Have we got any more emails with top 5?
We have. I've got another email top 5
because
here.
we're
Are
done
you ready?
with. I think we're
Alright,
done
let's
with
hear
the
it.
Discords. I don't think there's
Okay.
anybody else.
This is from my tainted brain, Brian, and he says, "Hey all, Happy New Year to each of you. I didn't buy many games this year, as will be evident from my games list. So here are my top 5 completed, but not from this year. So number 5 was Golf Club Wasteland. I played this. I really like this. Isn't
Golf
that
Club
weird?
Wasteland.
Yeah, weird golfing game set in this post-apocalyptic nuclear wasteland.
Okay.
It's pretty cool. I think you'd like this, Chitty. I
Yeah,
think this
no,
would be
I've
the
never heard of it.
This is like an official golf club game? Or is it
Definitely
like
not.
Just
No,
called,
no, it's
but
a-
no, I
it's
mean, is
a-
it made? So it's just called Golf Club Wasteland. It's
It
not
is.
affiliated with the golf club.
No,
games.
it's
Okay.
a side-scrolling thing, and you're in a space.
I got you. Okay.
It's sort of 2D. It's very well done.
So they're
and
lucky
it's-
they didn't get sued by the people who made the golf. club.
Possibly, but yeah, I think Chinny would definitely like this. It's a pretty neat golf game with a great faux radio soundtrack. Yeah, there's a radio announcer comes on and he does all these late night chat shows and stuff, talking while you're playing the golf game.
Who
It's
would want to
very
listen to
cool.
people talking? What a bunch of
I know,
nerds.
such a cool game.
Weirdos,
Number 4, A
Losers.
Fold Apart.
dorks, idiots.
A fold
Sorry,
apart.
what? A fold apart?
A Fold Apart.
What is that?
A game about communication, long distance relationships using the act of folding paper to resolve puzzles. Again, I've
I
not
think
heard
I
of.
played this. I think I played this demo maybe.
I've not heard of this, but it sounds cool.
Okay.
Sounds cool. I should give it a go. Number 3, Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Exactly what it says on the tin. You know what you're getting with this game, and it does it well. So, there
Okay.
you go. So, do you love that, didn't you? You like Breakpoint?
I did like Breakpoint. I'm looking at Fold Apart. It's so funny. This game concept is very similar to another game I played that uses the same kind of thing, like you're folding
Yeah,
paper.
I remember you
but the
talking
one I
about that
played
one.
is shit.
Yeah.
It wasn't shit. I shouldn't say it was shit. It was just so. It didn't make sense. It wasn't automatically intuitive, and I feel like this game. It looks like it's much more smoothly designed.
Yeah.
So
Looks polished.
Maybe you should give it a go. Maybe
it
you
looks
should give it a
very.
go.
I should give it a go. Thank you,
Maybe you should
Brian.
give it a go. Number 2, Guardians of the Galaxy, linear to a fault, but the characters
Okay.
carry this game, raising it from a good shooter to a very fun shooter. I played again quite a lot. There's so many games I played quite a bit of and just never finished.
You
And it
liked
was
this though,
good.
didn't you?
I did. I loved it. The voice acting was brilliant. The combat was really cool. There was nothing not to like about this game.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing not to like. And his number 1 was Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. More focused game, less of a collector fun than the previous Spider-Man. The emotional impacts, especially the relationship with his father, hit home. So there you go. Honorable mention to Coffee Golf, of course. Yeah, we didn't really mention that. Everyone played Coffee Golf for a bit, didn't they?
Everybody
Was
played it.
mad on it. Mad on it.
Well, I ended up being really bad at it, so I hate it, and I've never played it.
Hate
Fuck
it.
you, Coffee.
Special
Oh, it is a good
category.
game.
Special categories here. As I was looking through my games list, I found the number of games that I did not get on with this year was unreasonably high. So my top 5 games I didn't get on with. So he's doing 5 of these. So Chicory, A Colourful Tale. I don't know what that is. I know I should have liked it. It's my type of
What?
game, but nothing happened while I played and eventually got bored. So there you go. Deathloop. I love
didn't-
Dishonored, but I could not
Was
get
that
on
this
with
year?
this.
No,
No, it's just 5 games
Oh,
you
okay, I
played
was
that
gonna
I didn't
say.
like.
I hated Deathloop.
Gotcha.
I hated it.
Yeah, you hated it. I found it style of the worst UI I have ever seen. Toem, extremely dull. I could not get interested in this. I get falling asleep whenever I played it. So it's great if you've got insomnia, apparently, play Toem. Number 2, Meet Your Maker, Impenetrable. I love that. It just makes no sense. And number 1, I've never even heard of this, but I'm sure Jason is aware of it. I'm just saying.
Jason.
I'm in love with your dead grandmother.
Okay.
Simply
I do
dreadful.
think that's a game Jason would like. I
A
agree.
heinous piece of putrescent, pulsating poop.
Wow, that's a Jason-like review as well.
Yeah. Now
Brian turning into Jason.
I could do a top 5 games that I started, but I've yet to finish. Well, I've got fucking hundreds of those.
I've just looked up that I'm in love with your dead grandmother game, and it looks like we've already spoke about it because I've played it already. That video.
You've played it. I've
No.
never played this.
No. Listen, I've played the video before.
I was gonna say I've definitely not. I think Jason probably put this in an email at some point.
Yeah. So
Anyway, mental health and lack of focus have made finishing games difficult this past year. So, in no particular order. Oh God, there is more. Oh my God, he's done loads. I didn't realize I had to scroll. Horizon Forbidden West, Witcher 3, Death Stranding, Shadow of the Colossus, and Elden Ring. Over 300 hours in this game on my first playthrough, and
Wow.
I've never finished it. I had to
Okay.
stop as a DVD drive on my PS5 stopped working, and I haven't been able
Oh
to finish
no.
it since. So there you go. Oops. Finally, I have a question put aside until next week if time is short. Yeah, I think we will. I'll leave this right at this point. But he says, "Thanks all. Have a good one." As the Americans say, Brian. So we'll come back to your question next week, Brian. But thank you very
Yeah,
much.
thanks, Brian.
Thank you very
We
much.
will answer it, just not right now.
It's not right now. Right, okay. Final special category, and then it's our games of the year, I guess. So,
Oh yeah, here we come, Pete. We're coming down to the wire.
so Chinny, your final special category this year.
this is the special.
Yeah, we'll do the special,
Uh,
and then we'll do the game of the year last time. I mean, that's probably
Yep.
the best order. isn't it?
So, game that I've wanted to play for years and finally got round to playing.
Okay.
Game that I wanted to
Are we
play.
supposed to guess?
If you
Oh
want
yeah,
to,
we
I
guess
don't
we're
know.
gonna
Okay.
guess. Guess we're gonna guess. Game you want to play for years and finally got around to playing it.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
You know, I feel like I should know this, and I have no idea.
I know, right? I can't. I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah, I am. I don't know. What was it? Come on.
This is because listeners, they don't listen to me when I talk.
I listen, but I
You
don't
know what?
remember. I'm old.
It's Back to the Future, the game.
Oh God.
Oh, that's
yeah, but
right.
I think it's because you hated it.
Didn't like it. Didn't like it. I suppose hate might be a bit too strong, but I didn't like it. It wasn't great.
I don't
But-
think I'd ever have guessed that, by the way.
But you know what? I'm a big Back to the Future fan. It's not canon. They've officially said it's not canon. Thank fucking God for that. Because there is no canon in Back to the Future in terms of like there will never be another one because Bob Gale said he will never do another one. So the canon of Back to the Future is what it is, and I'm happy with that. So yeah, it's fine, and I'm glad it's not canon because it was pretty dire. But it did explore some of the things that the film was going to do, which was take it back to 1930s Prohibition era of America,
Right.
which I remember them talking about in the commentary. Yes, I've listened to the commentary in Back to the Future, and they talk about that, and I was like, oh, okay, this is cool because they're actually going to do that in the in the game, so that's fine. Obviously, what they ended up doing in the game was probably not even close to what they actually did or were thinking of doing. But anyway, it's fine. But no, it's a big cack. Back to the Future, the game. And Michael J. Fox is in it. The Michael J. Fox. So that's fun.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my final category is my Does It Hold Up Game of the Year. Does it hold up? Does
Okay.
it hold up? I know we didn't, we only played 3.
What did we
or
play?
4.
Alan Wake,
Four.
Uncharted 1, Uncharted 2, The Walking Dead.
I think that was it.
I think that was
That
it. Go on
That
then.
was it. I think this is fairly obvious which of those
Uncharted
games
2?
this is.
Uncharted 2?
Uncharted 2! Yeah. Do you know what? Kind of enjoyed playing it again. It was kind
holds
of
up.
fun.
Yeah.
And it did hold up. And it
does.
was kind of fun just playing through that cool game with all the wisecracking, and the ending was cool. You know, the final scene is a pretty cool scene. And yeah, it did put a smile on my face, you know, that sort of, because sometimes, I mean, with these, does it hold up? I mean, The Walking Dead didn't hold up very well at all.
No.
And
the,
it kind
the
of
first Uncharted didn't hold up
yeah,
great,
it didn't hold
did
up
it?
at all. And it spoils it, doesn't it? Because you sort of like, oh, I'd rather have just remembered that I enjoyed it at the time and not remember it now that, yeah, it wasn't that great the second time I played it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there you go. Uncharted 2. Does it hold up? Yeah, it definitely did.
There you are. Duke, what's your special category?
My special final category special is the best game that I didn't play very much of, and we've been talking about these a lot over the evening. So
There's a
I
common
had to pick one.
theme.
Yeah. But this is also a category of best game that is basically a remake of another game that we all liked. In this case, it's OTXO. I don't know how you're supposed to say it. Octo or Octocus. Yeah. This is right. Hotline Miami.
Hotline Miami.
Done
yeah.
in a black and white style with red blood and very fast paced, very frenetic, very.
Yeah.
And again, like when I'm all stressed out from teaching in life, I don't always want to play a game that's going to be very fast paced and stressful. So this game keeps looking at me like, I bet you won't play me. And I go, yep, you're right. I won't, because I don't need that kind of
Correct.
stress in my life right now.
Yeah.
But at some point, I will go back to it, maybe this summer, maybe even before the summer. I don't know. I'll scratch an itch maybe. But it's very polished. It's very well made.
But I
If
mean,
you
it is
liked,
Hotline Miami, though, isn't it?
It is Hotline
yeah.
Miami, yeah, exactly. But it's got new perks. It's got, you know, it's more roguelike, because even when you die, like you start over and you get, you know, you have money that you made or whatever the fuck it is, and getting far enough to really know to become an expert on the mechanics. You know, you're diving around, and I never dived around. I never really slowed down time as much as I should have. And if you don't do that in this game, you're fucked. You know,
Yeah.
you have to use all the tools available to you.
Why are all these bad guys just
of
waiting
these-
in these rooms? I don't know.
That's because they're stupid. That's why.
All right. Okay. Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Or it's an ambush, and they know you're not going to be ready when you know.
But
think
you
you're ready
are.
when you open the door. But you are, yeah. Well, that's why they're stupid.
Octo.
So
Yes.
yeah.
So, right, we have got another top 5 that's just come in on email.
Oh, good. Excellent.
Stuff come in. And it's from Antonio, friend of the show. And he
Antonio.
says, he says, hello.
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 It's that time of year again when we all comment on something we are uneducated on because we haven't actually played everything. So what does
Well, that's every
mean?
week for us.
Every
really.
week, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what does our opinion mean? We only played 4 things that came out in 2023. But then again, this isn't our jobs and it's all a bunch of bullshit anyways. So the award of I would probably love to have played it if I had had the time was Dead Space Remake. It looks amazing, and from my peers, I've been told it builds upon the base of the original, makes it just simply play and feel better with the current mindset we have when it comes to current video games. Speaking of, when mentioning the best games of the year, Resident Evil 4 Remake, quite bold to try to remake one of the best action games made ever. Capcom, but who actually succeeds? Well played, Capcom. Well played. The gameplay is truly rock solid, with the moment-to-moment encounters being truly thrilling. How your character moves the knife, the limitless potential you have for options with just that alone in combat. Great visuals.
What's he talking about now?
Resident Evil 4 Remake.
Now who's not listening?
No,
Yeah,
but he's
exactly.
talking about Dead Space, and it just changed to Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, speaking of, when mentioning the best games of the year, Resident Evil 4 Remake, quite bold to try to remake one of
It's
the best.
okay. We forgive you.
Anyway.
I just like making fun of you.
How your character moves, limitless potential you have for options, just that alone in combat. Great visuals, modernizing a campy
Limitless.
story.
They made a video game of Limitless? That's pretty cool.
Indeed. It's safe to say I adore this game, and 100%ing it was a joy. Hi-Fi Rush was a great time. Simple combat to pick up and play, but I had
There you
enough
go.
depth if you wanted to master it. You know me, anything that is music or rhythm-based, I am there. But making it a hack and slash too, well, yes, please. I noticed there was an update after it was released with bonus modes. Perhaps a replay is needed in the future.
Wow.
It's annoying that the newest Yakuza Like a Dragon game is probably the best in the series or very high up there. You see, this is another game I need to play. As it is impossible to recommend considering the games, it's considered by fans to be Yakuza 6.5, bridging the gap between 6 and 7 and setting up 8. A shame, as the combat is rock solid. It has so many small fixes that I hate in Japanese games that just waste your time and no longer do. It's pretty dang short, taking around 20 hours to 100% it. Plus, almost if it's calling back to its PS2 roots, the game came with a demo for Like a Dragon 8, which is pretty dang neat too. Spider-Man 2 may have had a story that made me groan and moan for a good portion of the story in retrospect. My God, it was just fun. Visually beautiful and technically impressive. It will always be ironic that the best fast travel I've ever seen in a game is in a game where you probably never use it until you start trophy hunting. And then finally, the award for Stop, He's Already Dead, Overwatch 2.
He's already dead.
He's already dead. I came back after quitting this game due to being addicted in 2017, as the promised co-op story mode sounded great, as mechanically Overwatch is amazing, but with that being cancelled, the horrific monetization tactics used and overall lack of care for the game, this game's fall will be studied in boardrooms for years to come. I'll stop now.
He's already dead.
You're welcome.
I'll stop now. I'm sure others have chipped in with their thoughts, but overall, I think we can all agree video games are pretty stupid. Thanks.
Yes, they are.
P.S. What's the favorite album you listened to this year? So there you go.
Like that came out this year, or
I don't know, just favorite album you listened to this year, I guess.
You know what? I'm gonna dodge the question because he's probably thinking about music, but I'm gonna say Hari Kondabolu's new album. I don't remember what it's called. Epidemic Baby, maybe, or something like Vacation Baby. It's a great album. I really love it. Hari Kondabolu's a very funny dude. And so he's going to say, yeah, Vacation Baby is his new album. It's not on Spotify, unfortunately, but it's a very good album. So check that out, people.
Yeah, it's always quite shocking when an album's not on Spotify, isn't it? Like, why is that album not on Spotify?
Their comedy selection right now is shit. They got no Carlin, no Pryor, no, like 2 of the Jerky Boys albums. What are they doing over there, Spotify? Get your comedy shit together.
Yeah, there you go.
He's already dead.
Ginny, favorite album this year? Have you got one?
The only one I can think of is Killer Mike.
Oh yeah,
he's got an album called Michael.
You know, I love Run the Jewels so much. I wasn't blown away by that album, but it is.
No, I'm trying to think of albums that I listened to a lot this year. I did listen to Donda quite a lot because I listened to it when it came out. Donda is Kanye West, of course, and I know. Kanye hates Jewish people. I know. I get it. I
I've
know.
just never been into his music. I mean,
I
it's
li-
fine.
No, I
you
think
know,
he's a
I
genius
can
when it
separate
comes to
artists and stuff.
when it comes to music. I think he's
Yeah.
just the goat. But I remember listening to Donda and thinking, oh, okay, I don't love it, but I gave it another listen and I found about 3 or 4 tracks in there that at first I was like, oh, I don't know, but now I love. So
Yeah, cool.
that's something, I suppose. But yeah, I did like the Killer Mike one.
Yeah.
I wasn't blown away like you do. I don't think it's as good as the Run the Jewels stuff.
Yeah.
And I think it's actually one of the best songs on the track is the one with the other guy from Run the Jewels.
With,
So-
with LP, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the song.
See, that's the thing. I think he messed up when he teamed up with LP because now people see. I mean, that takes him to his best, and his solo stuff just isn't nearly as good.
Yeah, there's a song
It's
called
like, uh-oh.
Run that I like that's got Dave Chappelle on the start, which is good.
Oh, okay.
I
don't
like
know
that
if
one.
I've heard of that one.
Yeah, so
I heard it. I just haven't heard it very often. So
Mm.
don't know him by heart. But
There
yeah,
you go.
he's got skills. He's a good one.
I'll tell you what album I didn't like this year.
Go on.
Go on.
Didn't like Depeche Mode's latest album, Memento Mori.
Oh my god!
I
Reach
hated it.
out and make a better album.
I just hated it. I know a lot of people still thought it was pretty good, but for me, I don't know. I just didn't get it. I tried to listen to it 2 or 3 times, and some of the songs on it, I just found sounded really amateurish in the writing of them.
You know what? It's now that you mention it. Sorry, people who want video game talk. We'll come back to games. The new Everything But the Girl album was a huge disappointment. I was so excited for that, and then when I listened to it, I'm like, okay, I must not be in the right mood or something. But no, it's not that. It's this. It's not a great album.
It just didn't hook me. One of the favorite albums I listened to this year, I've been buying quite a bit of vinyl over the last few years.
Oh, you hipster.
I know. I have a decent turntable and speaker setup, so I like listening to vinyl, and I've got a lot of old records as well. But I bought some newer stuff.
Real games are for old people.
But on sale was an album called Still Life by Aqualung, which I'd sort of vaguely remember them because it came out in the early 2000s, so it's quite an old album. And it was a £5. It was as cheap as chips. It were £5, right? So I had a quick listen on Spotify. I'm like, oh, I kind of like this. So I bought it and I listened to it quite a lot. It's kind of chilled. It's a nice, chilled out, kind of like indie rock, I guess you'd describe it as. But I kind of like it. It's one of those easy listening indie rock kind of albums. So there you go.
Just trying to think of like albums that I listened to this year.
I don't
music albums.
listen
I'm
to
just-
many albums, to be honest. So I don't listen.
I tend to
a
listen to
lot.
the same shit I've been listening to for the last 20 years. So like,
Yeah,
there's gotta be something
same.
else. Like,
So,
I don't know.
right on that note, I think it's time to do our game of the.
don't think there's any more putting it off. I'm doing drum rolls for these. God damn it.
Sorry, that's more. Go on. Yeah. Okay. Me first then.
Go. I think I know what this is gonna be.
Go on, Stu. I will
I
give
thought it
you.
was-
I think it's fairly
Roll
obvious.
drum.
Fairly obvious. No,
Should I give a drum roll? All right, here we go. Here comes
Go
the
on,
drum
we'll
roll.
let you
Continues.
say it. It's your
Game of the
game.
year.
Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, of course it
Yeah, I thought
was.
this was gonna be it.
Yeah, I think that was fairly obvious.
It's an
I've
absolute.
no idea what Jukes is going to be, by the way.
No, but
Oh, actually, I do.
This is
I'm lying,
this
I
is
do know
why
Jukes.
I feel like I'm disappointed with my top 5 is because I don't think if I'd have played some of the other games, some of the fantastic games that have come out last year, like or like giving them a try, like I don't know, like Hogwarts or Baldur's Gate or just other games that are just absolute top tier in other people's lists. I feel like Resident Evil 3 wouldn't even made it on there. Do you know what I mean? But it is what it is, and I've chose to have a
what it is.
baby, I guess, and that's a good thing. So
Ooh, look at you.
look at me with a
Life
bar
of a
where I'm a
witch.
girl. So yeah, but Spider-Man 2, it would have been interesting to see how far I rank Spider-Man if I did play those other games, but I still think it would have been pretty high. My main thing that I want to say about Spider-Man 2 is that I feel like its biggest detriment, the reason why it hasn't won a lot of Game of the Years and the reason why people don't pick it is because it's a video game and it's a very traditional video game. Open world, you know where the things are, you know what to do. And it's almost like people just don't want to reward the fact that it's just fucking good. People want to see something different or something that... And they've just seen this before. It's just something that we've all played before. And it's too familiar. I think that's a shame because I think it's... absolutely
it is a
brilliant.
shame. I'm sorry, I hate to interrupt, but
No,
like
no.
I think there's I've said this before. Like there's such an important place for games that don't do anything good but are still great at what they
Still
do.
great, yeah. And I think there's a lot of love for games that are like really different this year, and that's fine. I get that. That's fair enough. But I feel like there's a certain amount of I don't think snobbery is the right word, but with the professional journalists and so on, they
Yeah,
seem
they
to
have a certain attitude and perspective.
they seem to gravitate. I mean, because they play everything. You know, I was listening to some podcasts and
Right.
like they literally play like, oh, I've hardly played anything. Here's the 17
their
games.
job.
You know, and
Right.
and I'm just like Jesus Christ, and none of them really mention Spider-Man 2, and it just saddens me because it's just so good. A lot of them have played it and said it's really really good, but it's just Spider-Man, and it's just really like, come on, man, it's great. I get it. They play a lot of games and they like to see new stuff, but I just think it just deserves some good praise because it didn't even get at the Game Awards thing, you know, that Jeff Keighley Game Awards thing. It didn't even win. It didn't even get mentioned. It didn't get nominated.
Yeah,
Right?
but Hogwarts didn't need it, so let's be honest.
Yeah, but that's because of the J.K. Rowling thing.
Yeah, I know, but fuck it. You know what I mean? It just admire the game for what it is.
It's
You know what I
just-
mean?
just-
Fuck all the controversy.
Just, I mean, like, you know, I get like, was it Sea of Solitude? Is that the game that came out this year? Is it Sea of
Sea
No,
of Stars.
Sea of Stars? Sea of
Sea of
Solitude is a
Stars.
different thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sea of Stars is like, I get it. Like, you know, it's an RPG. It's kind of like an old school RPG. It's different. It's kind of quirky. A lot of people
It
talk
is
about
cool.
that game,
It is a cool game.
but I just think, fucking hell, this is Spider-Man. You swinging it like 10 years ago, we would have chopped our dicks off for this kind of game. Like, it's amazing. You know?
It's true.
It's
It's
mad.
totally true.
Some of us did.
Yeah, so it did. I don't speak to him anymore,
I don't know
Frank.
what that means. but-
Yeah, so Spider-Man 2, my game of the year. I absolutely loved it. Just a pure joy of a game. Couldn't play it enough. I would play it again now if I had to. You know, that's just testament to how good it is. Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Okay, is it me? Is it me, I guess?
It's you.
It's you.
Right, drum roll, please, Duke. Here we go.
Yeah, here we come.
How are
with
you
the-
talking?
So slick.
As soon as the crash happens, you're gonna get this.
And it's Alan Wake 2, of course it is, because, and I'll tell you for why, I
Of course.
finished this game at 10 to 8 tonight.
Oh.
That is when I
like
finished
killing
it.
himself, so he
I
meets his
fucking
role. He's
did,
a
right?
man with principle.
22 hours it took me, and I played it all day Friday.
Was your
all
eyes
morning
Thursday.
Thursday.
Bleeding? Was you like, I need to finish it?
Oh, honestly, it was. I said to Kay, right, I played it again, obviously, this morning for about 4 hours, and I'm like, I feel like I'm really close to the end. And then I came home tonight, put it on, and it took me to finish the game tonight. Took me about 45 minutes, and I
Yeah.
fucking finished it. And I just love it. Honestly, it's one of the single best video game experiences I think I've ever had.
A lot of people are saying this. A lot of people are saying
And I
this.
don't know why. And it's just ridiculous, really, because
Don't,
is
Don't
different.
spoil
It-
anything. Don't spoil anything.
I'm not spoiling anything, but do you know what the best thing it does? And it tried to do this in Quantum Break, you know, where it was trying to mix live action with real
Yeah.
video game graphics and all that. And it kind of didn't work and it didn't look right and it was a bit janky and
Yeah.
there was too much of a sort of difference between the two.
Wasn't
that they
Quantum
just-
Break like episodes? Wasn't it broken up into
Yeah,
episodes?
but you
or
had
something?
like an episode of the game and then
And then you'd have to
like
watch
an
a film,
episode of
wouldn't
a
you?
TV show,
Yeah, God, I forgot about that. Yeah.
And it just did not work. It just didn't work very well.
No.
But in this, they've absolutely nailed it. I mean, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, have nailed the live action with the video game graphics, and it just blends, and you really just accept it. And you know, when I said earlier, Phantom Liberty was like the best sort of video game movie I've ever played. This is the best video game TV series I've ever played.
Yeah.
And that's what you feel like. When I finished it tonight, I felt like I played a really amazing telly show.
Yeah,
You know, like-
I suppose Alan Wake 1 was also a bit like that, wasn't it? It was like a TV
Yeah,
show,
yeah,
wasn't it? So
You know that they're
This-
listening though and going, "No, it's a book.
No,
God
this-
damn it, it's supposed to be like a book."
Yeah, this does it. This is like a book. That's the other thing. It felt like a really satisfying book.
Is it though?
It's just so well done. Everything about it, and I know you'd hate it, Duke. Whatever, because
Yes, I
I
would.
do feel like regardless of what you thought about, you go in with your preconceptions and you just hate it anyway.
I'm not going to deny that. But
Wouldn't you
I
be
also
curious though,
happen
Duke?
to have
Because
hated it.
wouldn't you be curious to see what it's like, Duke? Because it's 13 years later. Like,
Yeah.
wouldn't
A
you?
little, but not curious enough to forget the fact that I hated a lot of stuff in Alan Wake
No,
1.
I know.
Yeah.
And it's so meta. It's beyond meta.
Oh, dude. It's like,
You know what I mean? It's
oh,
but
God.
everything they did in it just works. Like the mind place, where you go with Saga, where you have to try and figure everything out, and it's just great. They're doing all the profiling and sticking everything on the board and figuring out where everything goes. It just does such a brilliant. Everything about it is just so slick.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so slick. The story, as madcap as it is, does kind of make sense. You know what I mean? And it is mad. I mean, everything about it is just completely bonkers. And there are parts of the game where it makes you just grin from ear to ear. There are sections of the game where it's just absolutely as ridiculous of like anything I've ever seen in a video game.
Mm-hmm.
But I just sat there smiling through all of it because,
Right.
I mean, the end, I'll be honest, right? There's a little bit at the end where you've got to do some stuff that just is a little bit tedious,
Right.
I'll say. So there was a little couple of things coming to it. But again, it's not for long, probably about 30 minutes or so, 20, 30 minutes of the game. But it did feel a little bit tiring. And I was just like, oh, come on, just get on with it. I just want to know what happens. I just want
Yeah.
to get to the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, honestly, I couldn't stop playing it. I couldn't stop thinking about it when I wasn't playing it. I just wanted to finish it. And I just loved everything about it.
Crazy.
And it's so cool. And you can play obviously, you're aware that you play as either Saga or Alan Wake. So you can play it in any order. So you can switch between the two realities and play in different orders. But what I found myself doing was just playing huge chunks of each character's story. You know what I mean? Because I was so engrossed in what they were up to.
Yeah.
I almost forgot about the other part of the story that was going on at the same time, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I need to swap and play that for a bit now. And sometimes I was reluctant to do it because I was kind of like, I want to know what's going to happen in this sort of side of things rather than what's happening. But I know I want to, when I get into that side, I want to know what's happening to that as well. It's just brilliant. I can't say speak highly
I'm
enough.
trying to think of a game that has that mechanic of like swap between these. I guess GTA 5.
GTA 5 kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of, but this does such again. It does it so well, and it's so different to anything else you'll play. Because there's no other games that do a lot of the stuff that are in this game. That it just does everything so brilliantly well, and
Most
it's so
games are, like,
unique.
good.
It's the most unique game I think I've ever played.
A lot of people have been saying it. Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
hearing it. I've been hearing it.
Amazing. So there you go. So that's my game of the year, and justly so.
Joysticks and Chill in the chat says, when is Stu going to drop his internet? When he does, the internet will break.
Yeah, drop an album. Never.
Drop an album, sorry, yeah.
I can't actually create music. I mix it all right. Well, yeah, I'm not much of a creator of music. Well, there you go. So that's my
Cool.
game of the year. So Duke,
There you
let's
go.
hear it. Let's hear it.
You're muted.
What is happening?
Oh, sorry. Most people know what it is. Sorry, I've been. It's House Flipper 2.
Yay! Of course it is.
Yeah. I thought this would be
Yeah,
it.
I'm sorry about the muting. I was trying to play with a different. I have a software that mutes the microphone, and I've been trying to get it so it. I had it at F8. I wanted to put it on a mouse button, but every button I use, there's something else attached.
Sorry,
to
I
it.
just fell into a comment because
Anyway.
that was so boring. But yeah, come on.
Yeah, it was.
I know.
Never mind.
House
Talk about
Flipper
House
2.
Flipper.
House Flipper.
It's one of the only games I've bought this year on day one. I think World of Horror I bought on day one, but
Yeah.
that was because it was like $5 or something. House Flipper 2 is so magnificent. It's so soothing, and yeah, it's just you have so much control. There's so many options. It's so satisfying to clean up a house. I've reached a point where I'm not gonna be. I was streaming every house when I sold the one before and then move into the new one, but I'm not going to do that anymore because I don't want to have to get on the stream every time. But I am filming my first walkthrough and then my final walkthrough, so I can like put those together and make them like before and after videos if people want to see those.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. It's a magnificent game, and it makes me very happy. and it's such a sense of satisfaction. And I'm just loving it, loving it, loving it. House Flipper 2. They did such a great job. I can totally see places for them to go next time to make it even better. What if you were to flip a whole neighborhood or something? But in the meantime, it's just gorgeous and fun and rewarding and just well made. And hey, there's me fixing up a house, I think. And yeah, it's great. It's just wonderful. I'm really big thumbs up on House Flipper 2 because it's a great game. I wish it were on Game Pass because I know the first one is on there, but hopefully it'll be on there soon and people can give it a try without having to cough up all their cash. But in the meantime, yeah, House Flipper 2. It's the game I've had the most raw fun with all year. There's nothing in this game that makes me angry or frustrated in any way. It's just pure enjoyment.
Just brings you joy. It just brings you joy.
Brings me joy. Marie Kondo, man. She
Yeah,
said
man.
it.
Just
This
brings
game
you joy.
me Oh, I'm in.
Brilliant. So that's it. That's our games of the year.
Yeah.
Now we have
Yeah.
Now
got
you know our
we have got a
games of
couple
the
of
year.
extra emails. So shall we do those?
Let's do them.
Oh my goodness. I guess so. Hang on, I got you.
Whoa, that ruled.
So this is from Jonathan Davis, and he says, question for the
Davis.
show. Jonathan Davies. Hi, guys. I haven't written in for a while, but I hope you're all doing well and Happy New Year. I wanted to pass on my own award.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Happy New
my
Year.
own award for Disappointing Game of the Year,
Oh,
which for me is
we've had some of them.
Marvel's Spider-Man remastered on the PC.
okay.
Notwithstanding
Oh, really?
the web swinging and the initial sense of speed and euphoria you get from this game, I really struggle to understand the hype or wonder surrounding this game. I found the gameplay to be
Huh.
of the standard open world formula of busy work, incremental upgrades, and combat that, whilst fluid, doesn't hold a light to the Arkham series. I found the Peter Parker sections of the game, particularly with the homeless shelter, to be very cliched and couldn't stand the whole savior complex and sanitized depictions of homelessness that the game gave off. I'm sure New York City is also well modeled. However, when you're swinging along at speed, there is hardly any reward or point in exploring the open world. So there you go, Ginny. What do you got to say to that?
Again, it's sort of what I said. It's like it is a standard game, isn't it? It's a very standard, like, if AI made an open world game, like Spider-Man would be like sort of like the crux of it. But I don't know. I just think it's just so stylistic when you fight. I love exploring the world just as it is anyway. Yeah, but it's not for everyone, isn't it? What can you say? Like, if somebody doesn't take to it, maybe it's a bit. Look, I will admit, like the Peter Parker sections and the Miles Morales sections where you play as just normal people are a little bit tedious. They're not the best. And it's Batman, Arkham Knight. If you can comparing it to Arkham Asylum, Arkham Knight, and Arkham City, like, they're really dark and moody and fucked up. This is a bright and cheery game. This is sort of like daytime TV.
Spider-Man is such a different superhero than Batman.
Yeah, very, very different. Whereas Batman is a lot darker. So I just think it might be a tonal thing. But yeah, I mean, what can I say? If you don't like it, you don't like it.
I like it.
If you don't like
He
it,
says-
you suck and we hate you.
He says, I could go on for longer, but I'm sure you all have your own opinions, which I'd have like to have here. For a game nearly 6 years old, I was quite disappointed when I bought this from Fanatical last month in the Black Friday sales and sadly deleted it off my hard drive after the end of Act 1.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh my God. That's
Yeah,
There was a certain plot twist nearing the end of the act, which was blindly obvious, which just set my eyes rolling into the back of my head. And there isn't enough time, as it so sadly to the recycle bin it goes.
Wow.
damn.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for the weekly humor. It's always an accompaniment when I'm playing Train Sim, SnowRunner, etc. Cheers, John. So there you go. He definitely didn't like that
Thanks,
game.
John, even though you're wrong.
He didn't like it. We've got a email here off Jason.
Ah.
And he says, Mouse Flipper 2 middle claws up.
All right,
Hey.
careful.
Hey, players. Our Switch warranty ran out a few days ago. Me and the kid were enjoying Wonder, and the screen kind of kept blinking into a black screen. I switched to cables, power, and brought a new dock. The issue persisted today. I held in the power button and did a reset again. Something that hadn't worked the day before is now working. Try holding in the power button a few seconds, restarting it if you ever run into this problem. We love the Mario Wonder, and hopefully I saved another gamer from buying a new HDMI power and dock. Not sure why the power reset did not work the first time, but at least we have some wonder for the new year. I hope you do too, but you're definitely not going to find it in that house twerking game, Shinny. I hope you don't tell us your favourite game this year was the unpacking game, Wank. I knew Stu would pick. It said this is before I even did it tonight. I knew Stu would pick Wait 2 if he finally played it, but I never thought Duke would pick Pentiment. Bravo, it's about time. Happy resolutions, Jason. So there you go.
Wow.
You got one prediction right.
I'm sorry, dude. Well, I mean, he wanted me to play Pentiment, and I said I would
Yeah.
try it at some
Yeah.
point, but I'm sorry.
He
I'm
got
not
one
gonna
right, though,
jump
because he
off
was
and-
right about Wait 2. All right.
Yeah.
And the final email this evening is of Amar Parvez, friend of the show,
Amar!
long-time listener, and he
Yes.
says,
What up,
Podcast
Amar?
question.
Yeah, hit me.
Hello, veterans. Long time no speak. I took my time catching up with the podcast in 2023. At one point, I was running 4 months behind, but I'm all caught up now. Just a few things to say.
Again,
in
you
this-
don't owe us to be up to date, but we
You don't.
appreciate it.
Yeah, no. Just a few things saying this email. Will there be another arcade club meetup this year? So,
So
Okay,
who's
cool.
sorry? Who's this email from? Sorry,
This is
Amar from
Amar.
Scotland.
Amar.
We should do one, shouldn't we?
We should do. By the way,
Yes.
for anybody watching Fool Me Once, have you seen this new show everyone's going mental about on
Never
Netflix?
heard of it. Never heard of it.
Well, there's a new Netflix show series called Fool Me Once, and Arcade Club features very heavily in the show. So there you go. I'm like, came on, I'm like, oh, that's Arcade Club, Barry. What's that doing on this? So yeah, it's
It's
on
got
it quite
Joanna
a lot.
Lumley in it,
It has,
and that guy.
and that guy and that woman.
We should do another one, shouldn't we, Stu?
We should definitely sort that out this year. Yeah, we need to do another
need to
meetup.
do
We've
that.
not done one since before COVID.
No.
So that's how long ago it's been.
Yep.
He does carry on. I know EGX, etc., is possibly off the table, but a meetup would be fantastic. I absolutely agree.
I'd
I
rather
think-
do Arcade Club than Ajax.
Yeah, I do. Duke, I was terribly sorry to hear about your sad news with regards to your dear friend. 2023 truly sucked, and the death of Andre Brouwer, aka Captain Holt, was a
Yeah.
final kick in the nuts.
Actually, the final kick in the nuts was Tom Wilkinson, who was in Michael Clayton and some other stuff. He died on like the 30th. So that just like the year just kept taking from us.
Yeah, it did. Yes, I know he was an actor, and yes, I didn't know him personally, but he had an impact on the 9 years, 9-9ers.
Yeah,
not
of
9 years,
course.
9-9ers.
9-9.
And will be a long time before I can watch him on screen again. Stu, loving the mixes on Mixcloud. You didn't put a foot wrong in this New Year's Eve mix. No, I absolutely know that. That was helped with all the recommendations, though, to be fair. So lots of recommendations were made, and I played as many as I could. Mike, please let me know when you are over in Scotland in 2024, and you too, Stu. I need to get back to Glasgow. I love Glasgow. Such a cool place.
Yeah.
At the risk of sounding like a broken record, you three guys are my absolute favorite people ever, and I adore you all and everything you do. So you better all look after yourselves.
Aw,
Oh.
we love you too, buddy.
We love you too, man. As for gaming, I was off work for 2.5 weeks, and I bought some games on Xbox and good old games. Did I play them? Nope. And this has been the theme of 2023. The only gaming I've done in the last 3 months is play my Overcame EXP handheld, and even that has been left on the shelf lately. I hope to get back into gaming someday, but until then, I'll keep listening to you guys. A friend and fan of the show, Armar. So I think it's kind of sad when people fall out of love with gaming.
I mean, I had a stint
It
of falling
happens.
out.
It happens.
I fell out
It
of love with
happens.
gaming in about a year or so ago. I definitely, before this 2023 year, I definitely.
No, I mean, I said that, didn't I? I said this year is kind of, if there was ever a year to get you back into gaming, 2023 was it.
Yeah.
Because it's been
I mean,
such a brilliant
the
year of
reason why I
games.
made this list of games to play, this backlog of list of games, because there's so many good games last year. I was like, I feel like I'm missing out.
Yeah.
I got a FOMO sort of thing going on. So I'm like, oh god, I'm really going to try and maybe the reason why I didn't really play many games is because I sort of just got into the habit of not playing many because there wasn't that many in 2022 and 2021 and 2020.
Yeah.
So You know, I feel like 2018 was probably the last year that I got really excited about video games. You know, that was Spider-Man 1 and Red Dead and God of War, and you know, so yeah. Well, Last of Us was 2020, so I did like stuff. But hey ho.
Hey ho, right. I think to round out the show, we have got a speak pipe off Derek. So
Go.
let's have that, and then we'll get the hell out of here.
Oh, snap.
Speak pipe. It's the way to leave a message for us.
Hey, Veteran Gamer, it's St. Diesel back again with more for 24. I've got a couple of questions for you at the end, but I'll do the setup first. We had a family Christmas meal over the break, and there were 6 of us in total, and we went to a restaurant I'd never been to before. And we all sat down, and I didn't really hear what everyone else was ordering, but the waiters brought 3 stone slabs for 3 of the people there, not me. And I thought, oh, well, they're going to be getting some food in hot containers. That's going to stop the containers burning the table. But no, the stone slabs were actually for eating the food off. And their food duly arrived, and it was put on the slabs, and they, of course, ate it. And I'll be honest, it surprised me a bit, but it seems that this sort of things, the in thing, the hip thing, the up-to-date thing in some restaurants.
Give me a bowl.
Apparently there's stone slabs sometimes, bits of wood you can eat some food off. I felt a bit uncomfortable, I'll be honest. I thought this maybe a bit posh, a bit upmarket, a bit out of my league, but I don't really get to that many restaurants, I guess. So a couple of questions for you. Is there somewhere fairly recently that you've been to that you felt a bit out of place, maybe a bit intimidated? Maybe you thought this is a bit too upmarket, a bit too posh for me? And the second question is for Stu specifically, because I know he's a food guy. Does he ever try to get creative with the way he serves food, or does he just keep it nice and simple?
There you go.
There you go. Finish that
Yeah.
that last part first. Go ahead.
No, not really. I think keep it simple is best. You know what I mean? You can't. Sometimes you can get too faffy. Stuff's too faffy. I mean, Kay used to follow a Twitter account, well, X nowadays, Twitter account called Bring Back Plates. And that basically was a Twitter account. And they just had photographs of stupid stuff that people put food on in restaurants. And it was just Bring Back Plates. And that's what it was called.
Bring back plates.
Bring
That's
Back
where we're at in
Plates.
2024.
So there you go.
That does remind me of, there's a very famous pub sort of restaurant in a place called Tipton. No, it's not the place where you think a famous restaurant would be, but it's been there many, many years, and it's called the Pie Factory. It's very well known in the Black Country.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah, Stu's heard of it, and he's like miles away, so it's very famous. And you go in there, and they serve you food on a shovel.
What?
Yeah, on a shovel. Yeah, one of their meals is a shovel. Yeah, let me see if I can get a picture of it, because I'm sure there's a picture.
He kids you not, Duke.
Yeah, have you been there, Stu?
That's so ridiculous.
I haven't. I've heard of it though.
Yeah. I can only think of there was one moment where I was doing this stuff for this, we made this video years ago, must have been 12, 13 years ago, and it was up for an award. So we got to Trafalgar Square in London, and it was going to be shown in the Odeon Cinema in Trafalgar Square. And I was amongst these people, and they're all sort of up their own arse, right? And we was in a Pizza Express with them all, right? And I said, I don't know, I was just making conversation, and it's like, oh yeah. I was like, I like Pizza Express, but I do love Pizza Hut and Domino's as well. And she went, I would never step foot in a Pizza Hut or a Domino's. And I was like,
God.
I'm done with it. I'm done with it. That was the only time.
You know, Jim Gaffigan said when
where I
people say
felt-
that about McDonald's, like, oh, really? Well, McDonald's wouldn't want you then, because you fuck you.
And I just thought I wouldn't be seen in a. And I was like, really? Do you have to say Jesus Christ? And so yeah, I felt like I was like, I am not amongst people that I want to be here.
Right.
So yeah, I just thought
sorry,
what was that?
That was me accidentally turning.
Oh,
on the
all
stream.
right, I
Go
know.
on.
All right, okay, I've got a picture of the shovel.
Okay. Food in a shovel.
Food in a
Welcome
shovel.
to the Veteran Gamers.
So for
where we
anybody
look
who's
at pictures of
interested,
food in a shovel.
The Pie Factory in Tipton. I drove past it quite a few times. I haven't ate there for
Yeah,
years.
if you're in the area, people, let us know what you
Yeah.
think of Food and a Shovel with
Pie
Tipton.
Factory.
Pie Factory, there it is.
The
So it's
Pie
just
Factory.
food on a shovel.
Okay.
It's like
Wow,
you can
that
have,
really is
Assuming
food on a
it's gonna
shovel.
show up
Yeah, yeah,
soon.
yeah.
That, I mean, that is more ridiculous than a stone slab. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. That's fucking
like because
ridiculous.
not because
Well, you know what? You need a
That's just
gimmick, and people
ridiculous.
need to get talked about. You can only go so far having good food.
but I
That's
don't
just
know
ridiculous.
about you, Stu, but I've been served food on a stone slab before, and I've never really found it that odd. To be fair,
No, I've had it on
Stone
slate.
slab.
slate,
Piece of
yeah,
slate.
yeah.
What? Why would they do that? What's wrong with a fucking plate and a bowl?
And then there's the restaurants where you go in and they have a piece of volcanic rock which is extremely hot, and you cook your own steak at the table. on it.
That's posh. That's
you know
posh.
what? Fuck. The only time I'll ever want to cook my own food is if I go to fondue. I
Yeah.
like a
It's
good
mad.
fondue.
Honestly, this
Man,
stuff
it's
is
been
mad.
a long time. Is there a
Um,
fondue place near here?
As for
Only I want
places,
fondue. I'm crazy for fondue.
places I've been that I felt uncomfortable. I didn't necessarily. I actually went to a place where I expected to feel uncomfortable.
Was it at the arcade club
didn't.
round me?
No, it didn't. It was kind of. It was almost like a Pretty Woman moment.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
where you go in the posh shop.
Like, yeah.
And we bought Millie for her 21st a very expensive handbag.
Okay. I think
And
I
we went-
remember you buying her that
Yeah,
actually.
and
yeah.
we went to a very expensive shop, and I'll be honest, it's kind of the most shop where all the fucking wags go and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the influencers and stuff like that. And I must admit, I'm with her in my right scruffy clothes walking into this place. I thought, and I'll be honest, right? I thought it would be awful, you know, and that the guy who served us would just look down his nose at it, and he was absolutely lovely, and he was
of
really
course he
cool
was,
with us, and I came away thinking, do you know what? Good job done, you know, great customer service, and I never felt at any time uncomfortable or out of place, even though I knew that I should have done.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So he did an amazing job.
Pretty Woman.
Yeah.
I just
So-
got very nostalgic for like what I do miss, Stu. You know, remember EGX we used to stay in those like terrible hotels?
Yeah, terrible hotel.
Like the Beaver and stuff like that. I do miss that stuff.
I
I
know.
do
It was
miss
just fun though, wasn't it? It was part of the
fun.
experience.
It was
part of the
fun, yeah.
experience.
I do miss that, yeah.
Yeah,
I think
God,
I
we
think
had
I
some
didn't really
great-
appreciate how fun that was.
We had some
Um,
great night. We had some great EGXs, didn't we? You
Yeah.
know, just meeting people and just having fun. Just
Yeah.
having fun for 3 days.
Yeah. Well, I think
Yeah.
sometimes only like one night, wasn't it? But it was fun.
Yeah, I do miss it. I've missed all of that. I must admit,
Yeah,
I've missed
I do.
not meeting people.
Yeah.
You know, just not meeting people from the community and just seeing people I've not seen for years. Even like Bongo, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
so long since I've seen Bongo.
Yeah, yeah.
just
yeah.
mad.
And if we're not, you know, I think you know what I think. I'm thinking about this now because there is an arcade club in Blackpool, isn't there?
Yeah, there's one in Blackpool. There's one in obviously Bury still. There's one in Leeds.
Leeds, isn't there? What if we did the Blackpool one, right?
Yeah, I can do the Blackpool.
Because Blackpool
there's
is
some proper scuzzy hotels there.
yeah, I know because Blackpool is like it's an adventure, isn't
Mecca.
it? Yeah, it's
It's the
the
Mecca
mecca
for
of dodging.
hotels.
But that would be fun because Bury, like, there's fuck all in Bury, really, isn't there? There's nothing there. I know it's a better arcade club, but like I think people would enjoy like let's go to Blackpool, let's have a trashy weekend.
Yeah,
Where we
should
go to
definitely
arcade
do
club,
that.
we do the pier, we do stuff, and we see a show or something on the night. We spend
Yeah,
the
no,
night somewhere.
I
we get
mean,
an Airbnb.
look,
we do
It's
that.
45 minutes drive for me.
Oh,
but
yeah,
I can
I know.
stop away. It's fine.
I know you'll agree
I'm not
because
bothered.
it's literally like just nothing for you. But yeah, I
No,
think
it's 45 minutes.
I think maybe Blackpool we could do. I think we could do
Yeah.
Blackpool.
And you
'cause
can
that-
get the train there quite easily as well. You know,
Yeah.
there's a big train station in Blackpool.
Yeah, and if there's like an arcade club equivalent in London or something like that, then because there is in Birmingham there is like it's called like the NQ64 bar, but I've been there. It's not arcade club. You know what I mean? You pay for tokens and stuff like that. It's
Yeah,
not-
I think they've got the right model. Just pay when you get in and play
Yeah.
as much as you like.
so
you know?
we'll put it out there.
So
We'll just
according
put
to this, there's 2 that are top rated: Las Vegas Arcade Soho and Four Quarters Peckham. So you
Oh,
can
okay.
start there and
Yeah,
Go from there.
yeah. We'll
Yeah.
do some research, but I
But
suppose
Blackpool's like the
Yeah.
Las Vegas of the UK.
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Blackpool is an
though?
absolute shithole.
It
mate.
is. It's trashy. It's
so
full on.
shit.
And I'll be honest, in the winter, it's even worse. It's,
Yeah.
it's like terrible.
It's
a
fucking,
terrible
it's a
place.
dog shithole. But
It is.
I
It
quite
is.
like the idea of us all meeting there.
Yeah, definitely.
It's kind of, yeah, it'd be like, when me and Bongo and my brother and Marsh went to Vegas, didn't we, last year? So it was like, it's
Yeah.
just the equivalent British version of that.
It's the worst. It's the worst possible version of Vegas.
yeah, it is. It's like, what if Vegas?
We could go. Do you know what we could do? We could go to the Tower Circus.
Oh yeah.
It's brilliant. Oh,
Yeah.
Blackpool Tower Circus. That would be just
There we
amazing.
go. What about that, eh? Well, let's put some feelers out there, Stu. Let's keep
Yeah,
talking
let's
about
do
it.
that.
Let's keep
Let's
talking
do
about it.
it.
See if people buy.
We need to get that sorted. We
Yeah,
do, definitely.
okay.
Right. Shall we do some shout outs to get the hell out of here?
Sure.
So I'm going to go first. I think the shout out I want to give is kind of a serious one.
It's time for a shout out. Hey!
Because we've talked a lot about all the amazing games that we played this year and all the great games that have come out. But I think we should take a moment just to remember all the video game employees that lost their jobs this year. It's been a crazy year for layoffs. I mean,
been
there's
bad.
been so many people laid off, either because the game didn't do as well as it should have done, or just because they were fucking downsizing or merging teams together, or whatever they've done. But there's been thousands of people have lost their jobs across the gaming industry, which is just crazy. But there is something. I read an article the other day saying that in 2017 there was something like, I don't know, 4,000 games got released on Steam, or 2,000 games, or whatever it was. And 2023, 18,000 games were released on Steam.
I mean, we used to
18,000.
play and talk about
And
every
half
game.
of those are like Nazi furry.
Yeah.
so.
Which is my game of the year, by the way. We used to play and talk about every game, didn't we? Before,
Yeah.
or at least try. I remember trying to play every game that come out.
We
It's
covered
in-
pretty much everything.
It is impossible to do that.
It
mate.
is.
It's totally impossible. Yeah.
It's so difficult. It's such a saturated market now, and I think it's, unless you can stand out in some way, I think it's so tough for people. And I mean, I know I talked about how great Alan Wake 2 was, but again, I think, we talked about Epic earlier and how much they're putting into sort of Fortnite, but they also funded Alan Wake 2, and I do feel like they just went, look, just do what you want. We'll give you the cash, make the game you want to make. And I think more companies need to do that. PlayStation does that quite a bit. They're willing to let people experiment and do something that they want to do. And I think a lot of the big publishers are too busy trying to make nickel and dime stuff. You know what I mean? And I do think that it's those games that do stand out in the end. They're the ones that are allowed to lead with creativity rather than leading with how much money they can make off it. So there you go. That's my final word and shout out on our Game of the Year show.
And that's the end of my soapbox, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chinny
Ginny, go
or
ahead.
Duke, who's going? Ginny, go.
Jenny,
Well, I
Thank-
just want to thank everybody really for sending in their top fives and whatnot. Do appreciate it. Any time somebody emails the show or puts something in the Discord or just anything, just interacts with the show, it really does mean a lot. We do appreciate it. That's enough of me being serious. Fuck you all. I hate you. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yourself.
Shout out to everybody who sent us your Game of the Year lists on Discord or email. Shout out to Saint Diesel for always coming through with the speak pipes. We'd love to hear other speak pipes from other people. So do a search for Veteran Gamers UK speak pipe and it'll pop right up. You don't even need to download the app or nothing. You can do it right from your web browser on your phone. Do it now. Just don't make excuses. Just fucking do it now. I'm tired of hearing your shit.
Nice.
Yeah, shout out to the developers of House Flipper 2 because I'm probably the only person in the world who's going to give you Game of the Year, but you're welcome.
I don't know. I've heard it mentioned, Duke, on some people's games,
Really?
like top fives,
glad to hear that.
It's made people's top fives or top tens. Yeah.
Hey, and there's mods on this one now too. I sent y'all a picture of somebody made the Winnebago from Breaking Bad.
Oh, yeah.
Which I haven't
it's pretty
downloaded yet,
cool.
but that's an interesting project. It can't take that long to flip that. Like, how big is it, right? And it should be shitty. Like, that's
That's the look.
It's not supposed to be a clean new Winnebago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah. So, what other houses should they have in the House Flipper
The White
Odd
House.
section. I'm trying to. The White House, I guess. Yeah. Like after Trump gets done with all the greasy cheeseburgers.
Yeah,
everywhere,
yeah. So like
plates
the
at wall,
the story
ketchup
is
splattered,
that he's just
Yeah.
wrecked it. He's just fucked it right up.
toilets all fucked up.
You work for Joe Biden.
Anyway, right. Yeah. So everyone who's part of the community, thank you. We love you. We're really lucky to have such an awesome community. There's another one for your bingo card.
we do have
I
a
guess that
bingo
was- that
card
was
this
only
week.
Last week, but
We do have
Oh, we
one this
did?
week. Yeah.
different from last week.
Yeah, different from this is one Sue made.
Mm,
Stu gets excited by some piece of tech.
It didn't really happen.
Yeah, well, I'll
Didn't
read
really
these
happen
out
this
next week
week.
because this might apply next week.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
next week.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm done. Shout out to the Duchess for being awesome and everybody who listens. We love you.
In that case, we're
Anything
done.
else?
No, I think we're done.
Okay.
All right, show's over. No refunds. You heard the robot. Get out.
Won't you? Won't you? Won't you? Won't you? Won't you just switch off the
All right,
television
show's
and
over.
go
No
do something
refunds. You
that's
heard the
boring
robot.
instead?
Get out.
Sit at home, watch TV, dirty love's no good to me. Won't you? Won't you?
Am I wrong?
Won't
Am I wrong? You're not wrong, Walter. You're just an asshole.
Okay, once again, the communication process is broken down.
There you go, and that's it. We're done again
There
for
you go.
another
Done
week.
again, people. Woo!
We are
And I
indeed.
graded 0 papers during the show this week. Woohoo!
Woohoo! Well done.
I was doing it at the start of it, and I was just like, nah, I need to stop. My brain's fried.
Where
Your
do we
brain
start?
was
What's
frazzled.
that? Oh, it's just starting other yarns. No. What the fuck? Did I say you could just start playing yarns? Yarn? Damn. They got some nerve.
Wow. Anyway, on that note, I need to
Anyway,
get
on
the
that
hell out of
note,
here. I need to get
yeah.
to bed.
Have a good night, people. Have a good
Good
week.
night.
See you later.
Have a
Bye.
good week. Bye. Bye. See you later, Chinny.
Bye.
Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.